Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. So I'm really glad everybody could join us. My name is Ty Crandall, and I will be hosting our event today. And today we're going to be diving in. We're going to be decoding really a couple different things. First, we're going to be talking about how to get $250,000 in business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your personal Social Security number. We're going to map out the exact steps to do this, and you're going to get access to all the insider information as of today's date. A lot of things have even changed, and we're going to map out the exact process for you to be able to be successful in building your actual business credit and building your corporate credit. We're also going to talk about how to easily get loans and credit lines. You know, a lot of business owners need money and want money to grow, but don't know where to get it and don't realize that there are literally hundreds of different programs out there that are available that can actually help you obtain loans and credit lines. So these are the type of things that we're going to be diving into today. So we have a lot to cover. We're probably going to run about 90 minutes, and I will stay to answer questions as well. So we'll get a chance to make sure that everybody has questions. I know a lot of you will have questions during the webinar, but if I stopped and answered all the questions during the webinar, this would take 3, 4, 5 hours possibly. So I'm going to go ahead and get to those at the end of the webinar. I will make sure that your questions are answered. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ty Crandall. I actually have about 17 years now in the finance industry. Ever since I got out of the Air Force many years ago, I got into financial services, and I've been dealing with consumer and commercial finance ever since. So I actually speak about business credit worldwide. I've been invited to events as far as Singapore. And around the speaking time, usually in early spring and fall, you'll oftentimes see me, especially in all different places around the United States, in stages in front of even thousands of people speaking about what we're talking about today. I'm actually the author of 2 books, Perfect Credit and Business Credit Decoded. These are the 2 best-selling books on Amazon when it comes to consumer and commercial credit. So if you've maybe read the book or if you've seen me before, this is probably and possibly one of the places that you have. I'm also a business credit authority with news stations, podcast, radio, TV. I've been featured on Inc., Entrepreneur, Forbes, been on Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, and many other sources as well. Usually when something's going on though in the world and there are questions about business credit, I'm typically the one that they're turning to do the interviews. And I also oversee the largest business credit partner division in the United States here at Credit Suite. So in the last few years, we've helped over 10,000 people build business credit, and we also have thousands of partners around the country that offer business credit white label through our products and services, where we handle all the servicing for those customers as well. So I don't tell you any of this to brag and boast. For those of you that know me and my family and friends that are close to me know I'm a very humble person. I'm just telling you this because I want you to know that I have the knowledge and experience to be able to talk about the topics that we're going to be diving into today. So about today, what we'll cover today, a few housekeeping items before we actually jump in. First of all, I literally have hundreds of people registered for this webinar, more than the capacity of the webinar, than the webinar will hold. So if you do leave during the event, you can't get back in. That's just because somebody has slipped into your spot, and the only chance to get back in is if somebody else leaves and you were able to catch the webinar right at the time and slip into their spot. So keep that in mind. A lot of people after an event like this say they had troubles getting in, and it's just because the webinars reached capacity. The second thing I want to mention is if you are sticking around to the very end, there's a couple things that we're going to do for you. One, we're going to make sure that you get a replay of the webinar if you're staying with us to the very end. And then the other thing is that we're also going to be talking about some really, really, really cool bonuses that you're going to have the ability to get access to at the very, very end as well. So definitely worth your time. Those of you that know me know I will not waste a minute of your time. My brain operates very fast, and my voice and my mouth usually struggles to keep up with it. So if I talk fast, it is just my nature, but I will promise you that you will get a lot of information as a result of that as we progress and go through the event today. So what we're going to cover, we're going to be talking about how to immediately get business credit that's linked to your EIN, not your Social Security number, even when you're a startup, even if you have bad personal credit. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about how to build business credit with no consumer credit check whatsoever. So that means that you can get approved regardless of personal credit, because they're not looking at your personal credit to determine permanent approval. This also means that you can get approved even as a startup, even if you haven't started to generate revenue yet. And we're going to map out the exact steps to be able to do this for your actual business, even if you're just starting your business. Then we're going to immediately take this credit profile and score that I'm going to teach you how to build, and we're going to show you how to use it to get credit with major sources like Walmart, Amazon, Staples and Office Depot, Apple and Dell, Lowe's and Home Depot, even get auto vehicle financing at places like Ford, get $30,000, $40,000 limit credit cards at places like Best Buy, and then also get the coveted cash credit cards, the Visa cards, the MasterCards, the American Express cards, and more. We're going to talk about how you can access loans, even when banks say no, even when you don't think you can get approved for financing. If you're a startup, if you have credit challenges, if you don't have collateral, we're going to talk about loans and credit lines, a lot of different options that you're going to be able to access. As a matter of fact, a new one of my favorite credit lines we just discovered yesterday. It's really cool. We're going to be diving into that a little bit later today and teaching you how to get approved for that. And even another cool credit line that we just accessed less than a year ago that you don't even have a credit check for. So a lot of cool things like that. And we're going to talk about how to make money offering business credit financing. Maybe you have an interest, maybe you don't. But what's nice is that you can do really well helping other people around you offer business credit and financing. So if you know people that are interested in starting a business or run a business, we're going to talk briefly about this as well, how you can actually make money helping other people obtain capital to grow. So a really brief overview of a lot of topics we're actually going to be jumping into. So let's start at the beginning. Obviously, a lot of people try to get money to grow their business. Most people that start a business do, and most of them fail. And a lot of people fail to do this because most of them are trying to go to their bank to get money. When I stand in front of a large stage, in front of a large group of people, I ask, where would you go if you need money? And unanimously, what people come in and say is they say that they would basically go to their bank to get money. Well, banks are definitely not the place to go if you're actually looking to get money, because banks are typically dealing with SBA loans. And SBA loans are very difficult to qualify for. You have to have good credit and cash flow and collateral and all these different types of things to actually be able to qualify. So we're going to talk about how to get financing at alternative sources where most of the money is coming from versus actual conventional banks. We're going to teach you how to avoid this pitfall. Another reason people fail to actually access capital for their business is because a lot of people don't even know business credit exists. A lot of people don't even know that EIN credit can be built regardless of consumer credit quality, which it absolutely can. And again, we are going to just decode this today and teach you how to build business credit from scratch without the guarantee, without the personal credit check. A lot of people think that's gone away, and Dodd-Frank and all these other things have affected the ability to get business credit. It's not the case at all. As a matter of fact, the ability to access capital now is the best it's been over the last 10 years. So you're going to have a real opportunity to figure out exactly how this process works. A lot of people don't understand that business credit building is a process. Even the people that discover what business credit is, they still get lost and don't know that there's a proper sequence of steps you must follow to be successful building business credit. So we're going to decode those steps through a PowerPoint, and then I'm going to physically give you an inside look of how we help customers actually build business credit. We're going to take a look at it from both sides. So you can see the principle of how it works, and then you could really see it in action and how we've helped so many people build business credit quickly. So a lot of people don't understand this process, but we're going to map out today exactly what the process is. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't know that money is available based on strengths. Again, a lot of people are going to the wrong place to get money. I call this a cash access problem, because the reality is it's not that money isn't available. There's more money available than we could probably even use as business owners. The reality is, again, a lot of people just don't know where to go to actually get it. We're going to decode that today and talk more about where to go to get the money that you're actually looking for. So definitely this webinar is for you if you're looking for money to start a new business, or if you're looking to grow your existing business, because that's pretty much all we're going to cover is using business credit and financing to do both of these. If you're looking for high limit credit accounts that aren't linked to your social security number and that you can get regardless of personal credit quality, without a personal credit check, without inquiries on your personal credit report, that's exactly the type of stuff that we're going to be diving into. into. And we're also going to be diving into the easiest and fastest way to get money for your business. And again, we're going to talk about the concept through PowerPoint, and then I'll show you the actual execution. I'll show you exactly how our clients are successfully doing this now, whether it be credit lines, loans, or business credit. And this webinar is also for you if you're looking to get credit lines and loans. If you want to get money to fuel your business, but you're not able to get it, you don't think you can qualify at your bank, or you just want access to the most amount of money at the best terms, these are all topics that we're going to be diving into today. So let me tell you a little bit myself about me for those of you that don't know me. First of all, if you're skeptical that you can get credit or money, I know exactly how you feel. I've actually built a few businesses from scratch using my own personal money to do this. I didn't know about business credit. There was nobody talking about business credit when I built my businesses, which is why I decided to become the person that helps other people understand how this process works. I also didn't realize all the different kind of loans and credit lines that were out there that were available for me because there was nobody talking about these things. So if that's kind of you, if you're in those same shoes, then I've been exactly where you are now. What happened to me was my first business was a mortgage company, and I built it in the height of the mortgage industry, and then I was there with the collapse. And overnight, we lost our ability to help people obtain loans. My income was cut 90%, and I pretty much lost everything. I lost my vehicles and home. Our credit was ruined. Literally, the people that we defaulted on for the business took money out of our personal account and cleaned us out. It was by far the worst experience I've ever had. For anybody that has a family that you are responsible for providing for, when you lose your ability to provide your family, to date in my life, it's been the hardest thing that I've ever went through. And I recovered. I got into consumer credit. I helped people start recovering through the actual change in the economy. And then I was introduced to business credit. I was introduced to pretty much the exact same solution that I'm going to go through with you today, the same opportunity. And it literally changed my life. It helped me create the company that I had now, Credit Suite. It helped me build it into a very, very, very successful business where we do millions and millions of dollars in revenue because I was able to access other people's money. I became a master of obtaining corporate credit and financing, which helped us grow at a really quick pace. So I've been through this cycle. I know what it's like to struggle to use your own money to build a business, even to have a business fail in grandiose fashion, and then be able to recover and get access to capital and go through and do it the right way and succeed. And so I've been where a lot of people aren't. If you're skeptical, I understand. I was there once, but today I'm going to map out the things that I didn't have the opportunity to know at the time, so you can come in and have the same kind of success that I'm blessed to have an opportunity to have now. So let's start at the beginning. When we talk about business credit, we're talking about credit that's obtained in a business's name. Now, with business credit, the business itself is building its own credit profile and score for the business EIN number. So much like you have a credit profile and score that's linked to your personal social, with business credit, you're building credit that's linked to your actual EIN number. Now, this credit's in the business name, so it's based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owners. So whenever you ever hear about being able to get money with no credit check, you should be skeptical. Most people are. I'm skeptical even when I hear that. But the way business credit works, the reason you can get it regardless of personal credit is because if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. It's credit for your business. It's your business standing on its own. It means your business itself is qualifying, and the ability to obtain credit is based on your business's ability to pay, not you as the owner. So because of this, as you build business credit, you get the ability to obtain more and more capital without it relying on your personal guarantee or personal credit, because the business gains its ability to stand on its own. And as the business gets of this credit, starts obtaining capital, then it first starts with getting credit cards. Office Depot, Home Depot, Sam's Club, Costco, Dell, BP, Walmart, MasterCards, Visas, American Express, almost every retailer or big store that's out there of some sort offers some kind of corporate credit. Even Nordstrom does, even Macy's does, to give you an idea of the different types of stores that do this, even Pitney Bowes, for example. But you're also building a credible and lendable foundation that helps you get loans. It helps you get credit lines. Now, business credit alone takes a lot of building to ever get loans and credit lines just based on business credit. I'll tell you that up front because a lot of people won't. But it will help you obtain $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 individual credit cards in the process of building it. And as you will see here in a few slides, it is the foundation of you being able to get loans and credit lines. We're even going to look at commercial reports to see what lenders see. So there's a lot of benefits you should know before we dive in. One is that business credit has no effect on your consumer credit. It has no adverse impact on your consumer credit scores. So most people use their own personal credit to fund their business. The problem with that is that when it comes to consumer credit, 30% of your consumer credit score is made up of what's called utilization. So that means as you put balances on your credit cards, you lower your scores substantially. I mean, almost as much as if you pay your bills late, because 35% of your consumer FICO scores payment history, 30% utilization. So with business credit, these are credit accounts that report on the business credit reports, not the consumer. So you could even max your credit cards out and not adversely affect your consumer scores at all, because your consumer credit won't be affected because the accounts are only reporting on your commercial credit reports. Plus, even if you have good credit, well, then you don't want to have inquiries on your commercial or on your consumer credit reports unless you want to. And in the commercial world, you have the ability to get a lot more loans and credit lines when you have few to no inquiries on your credit within the last 6 to 12 months. So this has no adverse effect. It doesn't affect your utilization because the accounts only report on your commercial reports, and there's no inquiries because they're not pulling your consumer credit when it comes to getting approved for business credit. And that also means that you can get approved no matter how bad your credit may be. Even if you have credit issues, well, business credit's not based on your consumer credit quality. So regardless of how good or bad your consumer credit is, you're still able to obtain commercial credit because there's no credit pull when it comes to getting approved. And even if you have good credit, well, then you're still going to care about there being no personal guarantee. Because with business credit, you're not liable for what happens in your business. You and the business are separate if you're, for example, a certain entity, which we'll talk about a little bit later here. And in doing so, you can separate your liability for the business. So if you ever do default, if the unexpected ever happens to you like it happened to me, and you default on an account or even go out of business, they can't come after your personal assets. This might not be a big deal to a lot of people because we don't think of failing. But I can tell you from somebody that has went through a business failure that they absolutely will wipe out your personal assets when this happens. So if you can keep your family's finances and assets safe, why not? Business credit will help you do that. It will help you separate the liability. And it's SBA and Inc. and Entrepreneur and NASDAQ, all these sources. This is why they talk about the importance of building business credit, is to separate that actual business liability. So business credit building is very fast. What I'm going to show you today is the fastest way to build business credit, which means you can immediately get credit as soon as we are done with this webinar. You will immediately walk away and be able to get credit, and then you'll be able to build that credit to very quickly get credit with most major stores, even Visa cards, MasterCards, even auto vehicle financing. And this is important because anybody can see your business credit reports, your prospects, competitors, potential buyers of your company, your clients, potential investors. You know, we're not used to this. In the consumer world, somebody has to have your permission to pull your credit report. It's called permissible purpose per a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Well, in the business world, there is no Fair Credit Reporting Act. It doesn't apply to commercial credit. So what happens is anybody can see your reports without your permission. As a matter of fact, if you go to Dun & Bradstreet to get your credit report, the first thing they do is give you an option. Do you want your credit report or a credit report for another business? So again, with business credit, it's important to build a profile and score because anybody who wants to can easily see what's on your reports. Now, business credit also gives you a greater borrowing ability because you have both consumer and commercial credit. So for example, you can go into Staples today and get a consumer credit card. But the problem is that when you do that, you can't go in tomorrow and get another credit card with Staples. But with business credit, you can get a consumer credit card, and then you also can turn around and get a commercial credit card the next day. It's the only way you can get two credit cards at most major retailers is to have consumer and credit and commercial credit. The difference is that commercial credit limits are much higher than consumer credit. So with business credit per SBA, limits are about 10 to 100 times higher than what you see with consumer credit. This sounds like a really crazy number, but it's not if you think about it, because you may never need to spend $20,000 for home computers with Dell, but you very well could want to spend or need to spend $20,000 worth of computers for your actual business. So because of this, this is why limits are so much greater in the business world than they are with business cards than they are with consumers. So because of this, you can get $20, $30, $40, $50,000 limit credit cards within 6 months or less. And today we're going to map out the actual steps to do this. We'll even take a look at real approvals that people are recently obtaining. You also can get approved when you can't get a bank loan or alternative financing. As a matter of fact, business credit's the only way to get money for a business when you have no collateral, bad credit, and you don't have cash flow. So even when you have no chance at all of getting a loan, you still can come in and get business credit, even as a startup. I call it a catch-all, because everybody can get it no matter what your scenario is. If you have a business, you can obtain it. So even if you think there's no way you can get financing, we're still going to map out how you're able to get business credit. You can also access loans and credit lines to grow, to fund your business, to use your profits to grow your business instead of your personal funds. There's a lot of studies on this that show that a healthy business that has a good chance for long-term success is a business that does not rely on your consumer credit and also does not rely on your personal assets or your personal cash injection. So the more your business can start funding itself, the healthier your business is, and all the statistics show that when it can fund itself and the healthier it becomes, then the better chances you have of long-term success in your business, which of course gives you a huge competitive advantage. So with business credit, it also determines 3 things when it comes to loans and credit lines. 1, will you get approved or will you get denied? 2, how much money will you actually get approved for, and what rates and terms will you get? So if you want the most amount of money at the best terms and to be able to get approved for loans and credit lines, business credit's an absolute essential necessity, which we'll show you in just a second. You can be denied financing based on business credit quality even if you have no business credit established whatsoever. And I'm going to show you on the next slide exactly how that works. So let's take a look at some reports and let me show you what I mean. So first of all, you can be issued a failing business credit score for your business, even if you have no credit reporting. And this makes you look unestablished, possibly even on the verge of filing bankruptcy. This is why they give you a failing score, because a business that's operating that doesn't have credit looks like it's unestablished or possibly even on the verge of filing bankruptcy. As a matter of fact, the reporting agencies even have a bankruptcy score that depicts your risk of going bankruptcy. So here's a perfect snapshot from an Experian commercial credit report that shows what this looks like. You can see the score. This is an Intella score. It ranges from 0 to 100. 100 is the best score you can get. 0 is the worst. So we see this company has a 28 credit score. We see that's very high risk. Current financial stability risk score. This literally depicts your risk of going bankrupt. And you can see that it's about as high a risk as you can get. We see the factors lowering the credit score right down here, lack of active trades. And what's interesting is when we look at this, here's the trade lines the company has, 0. They have 0 credit across the board. So in this case, you've got a company that's given a failing score. Their bankruptcy score says about as high a risk as you could get. But the crazy thing is they have absolutely no credit reporting on the commercial credit report. Again, we're not used to this. In the consumer credit world, you have to have bad credit, not pay your bills, for example, to have bad scores. But in the commercial world, if the reporting agencies like Experian and Equifax even know your business exists and they know your SIC code, they will automatically populate a report and your report will look like this. We pull reports all the time, and every time I see a score of 27 to 29, and a credit limit of $1,000, I know this combination means that we're dealing with the company that has no credit. And unfortunately, these are a lot of people that come to us. They go to their bank to get a credit card. They go to their bank to get a loan or a credit line. We have companies that make millions of dollars in revenue and are denied for $10,000 credit card limit credit cards because when they pull the business credit, they get a notice that says that the business credit's bad. Well, as you can see, there's nothing bad here. There's just nothing here, and it's the nothing here that is bad. And this is exactly what happens in the commercial credit world. Now, let's take a look here at what happens when even one account reports. So after this webinar, I'm going to show you how to get accounts that will report to the reporting agencies. And that one account can take you from no score or a failing score to a great score, so you become more lendable. And the reason for this is because business credit scores are based mainly on one factor and one factor only. And that one factor is how you pay your bills. If you pay your bills as agreed, you instantly will get a good score. How good? How good depends on how early you pay the bill. If you pay it on time, you have an 80 to 90 score. If you pay it early, then you'll have a 90 to 100 score. So all you have to do is get credit that reports, pay the bill, and it gives you a good score. So in this case, we see somebody that has a 96 score, credit recommendation of $2,500. We see their low risk, about the opposite end of the spectrum, right? There's lower risk as you can almost get to. So we took somebody here from high risk to low risk, and what's interesting is this is the only account on their credit report, a packaging account, probably a Uline account, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So this one account they added, they spent less than $100, recent high credit they used. They spent less than $100, and they have a 96 score. Here's where things get interesting. They had a 28 score, exactly the same as the one I just showed you. Like I said, very common. 28 is a good score. There is a score that completely indicates somebody usually has no credit. And they've got one account, and their score shot up from a 28 up into the 90s where they are now. This is what I'm going to teach you how to do today, is to go from adding one account to your credit report and helping you go from no or bad credit to a good credit, and then continuing to build that to qualify for more and more money. Now, again, you can't just get one account, because some reporting agencies, which we'll talk about as we progress, require more than one account, which is a pitfall a lot of people fall into, and I'm going to help you avoid. So what happens is, as you continue to grow your credit, the business credit reporting agencies recommend you for more and more money. This helps you get higher approvals on business credit cards, loans, and credit lines. So Equifax, Dun & Bradstreet, and Experian all have what they call credit limit recommendation, and it's exactly what it sounds like. This is the limits that they're recommending to for credit issuers and lenders. So they're telling lenders and credit issuers, based on what we see and all of our billions of dollars of analytics we've developed, this person should be recommended for, in this example, $1,000. That's the first example we looked at a couple slides ago. Last slide, we looked at this person. We saw that that one account took them up to $2,500 credit limit recommendation. Here's somebody that doesn't even pay their bills. They're paying their bills bad. 27 score. They're still being recommended for $7,000 of credit, $6,900, and they have two accounts on their business credit report. As we continue to grow the business credit, here's somebody that's being recommended for $15,600 in financing, and they've got 3 accounts on their business credit report. Here's yet another one that has $65,000, almost $66,000 in financing they're being recommended for, and they only have 4 accounts. We see 3, we see the 4th one come down here on the second page. And then here's a company that's being recommended for $724,200 in credit, and we see how many trade lines they have. I'm not sure how many that is, but that's probably about 15. We'll go with about 15 accounts. So I just showed you the progression of business credit from a lender standpoint. The more credit you get, the higher your scores will be. You even saw examples of people that have lower scores because they're not paying their bill but are still being recommended for more money. So as I mentioned, business credit will determine if you get approved or denied. If you have a bad business credit or no business credit, your chances of getting approved for a lot of financing are nil. Okay, it also will determine the rates and terms you'll pay. Your credit score really factors into that. How high your credit score is indicates how you pay your bills. The better the score, the better the rates and terms you're going to get. It's like that with consumer credit, the consumer world as well. And business credit also determines how much you're going to get approved for. And you see clear as day that every one of these commercial reports has a clear credit limit recommendation that lenders and credit issuers are using to actually determine the approvals. So when you apply for credit, you get an approval and you get a certain limit, this is what factors into the amount of credit limit that you're actually issued. we know it's not manually taking place because it happens so fast. So these automated systems that credit issuers use are looking at the reports, factoring in the credit limit recommendation, and this helps them determine the kind of limits that you're going to be issued and whether or not you'll get loans and credit lines as well. So that being said, it's also important to note that every successful business in this country has business credit. Now, a lot of people believe the opposite here. They think you have to be big to get business credit, but that's not the truth. The truth is any company can obtain business credit if you know what we're going to talk about today. But you have to have business credit to get big. So for example, here's a look at Facebook. We see their experience snapshot with 40 trade lines. We see here with Dell how they have 83 trades. Microsoft been around since the 70s, 131, and Apple been around since the 70s as well with 138 trade lines. We see Pilot Flying J with 153 business credit trade lines. So what's a trade line? The trade line is the reporting of an account on the credit report. I just showed you a bunch of examples from real commercial credit reports. So you can imagine what this is like to have 153 trade lines. So if you think that Facebook and Dell and Apple are able to get millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars lent to them because they're Facebook, Apple, and Pilot Flying J, that's not the case. They are being lent large amounts of money because of the example I just showed you previously. They're obtaining more trade lines. The more accounts that they have on their commercial credit report, the more credit they have established, the higher those recommendations for credit are, which is why these companies are being lent more and more money. Here's Publix supermarket in Lakeland, Florida, down here in Florida, or right down here in my home backyard, 171 trades. And here's Walmart with 513 trades. So Walmart really is the perfect example of what you can accomplish with business credit. 80% of what Walmart sells, they actually buy on credit, and you pay them for it before they actually spend their own money to buy it. So they go and they use Bounty paper towels as an example I like to use. They go to Bounty, they use business credit to buy paper towels, they put it on their shelves. You come in, you buy the paper towels from Walmart, you say, Walmart, here's my money. Walmart takes your money and they use it to pay back Bounty for the paper towels. They buy 80% of what they put on their shelves on credit and use your payments to actually pay off the credit. This is why they're the #1 retailer in the world. It's also why they have 513 trades. They've mastered OPM, using other people's money to grow, and in doing so, this has given them the leverage to become the #1 retailer in the world. Now here's Mars Incorporated. They make Mars bars with 22 trades. But here's where things get interesting. Here's a client that's just not very far into building business credit, just a few months into the process, that has 8 trades. Well, they make Mars bars. They have 22. They have 8. They have more than 30%, like 35, 40% as many trade lines as the Mars company does. Here's another company that's a year into business, building business credit, or what their profile looked like a year in, with 14 trades. They have 70% as many trade lines as Mars Corporation has. So again, any company can build business credit. As a matter of fact, the steps I'm going to show you today are a lot of the same steps that a lot of the bigger companies used in their early years to build their initial credit profile and score. And now as they've continued through years and years to build it, they have the ability to get access to more and more credit. So you do have to get business credit to be big. There's no highly successful company, public or privately owned company in the United States that has got to where they are without building business credit. All of them, you name any of them, we could pull the same thing and look at their trade lines. But you do have to have business credit to get big. You don't have to be big to actually get access to business credit. You just have to know the proper steps, the process to follow. Which brings me to the main topic that we want to jump into here. How do we build business credit? Well, I'm going to do this 2 ways for you. First, I'm going to map this out and show it to you through Power. We're going to go through these slides. I'm going to map out this exact process. I'll then show you exactly how our clients do it, so you can see how not just it works, but how it works when you get the fastest and easiest results. So we'll do that. Then we'll dive in and even talk about loans, credit lines before we continue to move on. So here is a great look at what's possible with business credit from the samples. So this is their exact quote. We went to our bank to get a business line of credit and they turned us down. We got started with Credit Suite, set up our business credibly, and built our business credit. Now, after following the steps, we've now secured over 96 grand in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum Amex card and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to get us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited, and if you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite to have the same results we have. So we just looked at their company, Success Tax Relief. We looked at it at the beginning stages where they had 14 trades. Their story is way different now. Their Amex has no limit. They oftentimes spend about $100,000 a month on it. They have over $250,000 in business credit that they've already obtained. So again, you'll see at least a few of these examples to coincide with the actual title of the webinar. So here's clients that have secured over $250,000. They used business credit to make over $1 million their first year in business, and then this year they now make over $2 million. I just interviewed Thelma 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, to get an update on their progress. So a real good look at exactly what's possible when you're building business credit and following these steps. So what steps do you follow? Well, the very first step is you want to build your business credibly. And by the way, I will if you're staying to the end and I'm sending you a replay, I will send you a link to an interview with them so they walk you through the whole initial process of building business credit, what their experience was like in the beginning, the accounts they got, the limits, all those type of things. I will get that to you if you're sticking around to the end. So the very first step, we've got to set up your business credibly. Lenders and credit issuers have a secret set of standards that you must meet to get approved. You get this, I get this. You've applied for credit cards. One of two things happens. You either get an automated approval or you get that dreaded message that you'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days. Well, what's happening is that when you're entering your information in there, the credit issuer's computer is processing the information, and it's kind of like a checklist. If you meet all their criteria, it's a series of checks and you get an approval. If you don't, then they basically red flag or get X's in criteria that you must meet. If you have enough of those, you get denied. So that's how it works. So my goal for you isn't just to get business credit. It's to give you a path to get it as fast as possible by making sure that you get automated approvals. Well, to get automated approvals, we have to understand this secret, unpublished set of standards that these credit issuers and lenders have. Once we have this, then we have established a lendable foundation that helps you get approvals automated for credit cards and also helps you get the loans and credit lines that you're looking for. So if you meet these standards, you get those automated approvals. If you don't meet the standards, you're typically going to get denied. It really is as simple as that. So you've got to set up your business credibly before you even think of starting to get credit and financing. If you don't, you'll oftentimes get denied, as many of our clients do before they end up coming to us. So first, you want to set up your entity. Now, you can build business credit with entity, a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a corporation, an LLC. But it's only a corporation or an LLC where you could truly separate your liability. And the reason for that is because a partnership or a sole proprietorship, you and the business are one and the same. With a corporation or LLC, your entity is separate from you as an individual, so you can also separate your consumer and business credit. Your liability can be separate. So you want to try to set up a corporation or LLC. If you are already set up as a sole prop or partnership, consider changing over to a corporation or LLC to separate your liability. Look, I'm not an attorney, but I'll tell you, if you're a sole proprietorship or partnership and you and the business are one and the same, if the business gets sued, you can get sued. And that's obviously something you want to avoid, as well as being able to separate your actual personal guarantee for the business and your individual as a consumer. So you want to stay away from high-risk business names that indicate that you're in a high-risk industry, because again, if you're looking for automated approvals and they see you're in a high-risk industry, that alone can get you denied. So a little bit later, I'm going to show you exactly how I'll show you an actual list, or how you can access a list of high-risk industries to make sure that your name doesn't indicate you're in a high-risk industry. If you are, not only is it hard to get merchant accounts and bank accounts, but can also result in a lot of automated denials because they don't want to lend you money if you're in a certain industry. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. You want to get your free EIN number from the IRS. It is free. A lot of companies out there make themselves look like the IRS. You get to the end of the process, they try to charge you money. Don't fall for that scam. EIN numbers are absolutely free. A lot of people think business credit's built under your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. It's not. It's built under your actual EIN. It's also interesting because a lot of people think that you need to have your EIN. They have to ask for your EIN before you build business credit. That's not true either. They can actually just with your name and address still issue you business credit even if they don't know your EIN number. And I'll tell you how that's possible in a little bit. But you have to have the EIN number to build business credit. It's absolutely crucial as we get into step 3. If you need licensing in your state and your county for your industry, well, then you need to make sure that you have that licensing so you're operating legally. And you also want to make sure that all of your online listings have the same information as what's on your application. The details must be congruent. So this is where a lot of people fail. One of the biggest reasons that bank loans get denied is because of this right here. It's because the address that you have with the Secretary of State is not the same as what pulls up in a Google search, and it's different than what's on your application. What's on your application must be consistent with what's on your bank statements. It needs to be consistent with what's on Google and Bing and Yahoo. It needs to be consistent with the Secretary of State records. If not, you'll oftentimes get denied for loans and credit because they're not sure. They see a lot of mismatched information, which automatically triggers denials in a lot of different cases. So you also want to make sure you have a professional website set up. They're going to search your business online. It's better for you that they find your business online through your own website, find your own information online. So you want to make sure that you have a professional website. You want to have a professional email address. Don't use Yahoo. Don't use Gmail. Don't use anything that's not a professional email. So for example, my email is info@creditsuite.com. That's what you want. Maybe your name at yourcompany.com or info@ or sales@yourcompany.com. You know, nowadays you can go to GoDaddy and for $12 you can get a domain that comes with these kind of email addresses. But don't use Yahoo and Gmail type email addresses that can oftentimes get you denied. You want to use a real physical business address on your application. If you don't have a physical address, maybe you work from home, that's okay. Use a virtual address. A virtual address is an address that you rent, basically an address to get mail at without actually paying to get an actual office. I'm going to take a real quick drink of water. So that's what a virtual address is. Instead of you coming in and getting a physical office, you're renting an address. You get your mail there. You can use the address on all of your documentation, and then the company will then actually get your mail and forward it to you. As a matter of fact, nowadays, if you want them to, they'll even open your email, take pictures, and send you the pictures of the mail if you want them to. So that's what a virtual address is. That's much better than a home address if you can use it, if you can access it. Now, the third and worst and last case option is a home address that you want to use. You don't want to use in that order. You want to first get a business address if you can get a physical address. Get a virtual address if you can't. Get a home address at absolute last resort. Why is a home address last resort? Because again, you got to think about this from this perspective. Lenders and credit issuers, especially when you start building business credit, have no other information about you. You have no business credit established. They're not looking at your personal credit reports either. And you don't have anything else established with the business. So all they have to go off of is the information on your application. So obviously, a business address makes you look more credible than a home address does. Now, if you use a home address, can you still get approved? Yes, absolutely, with some sources. So for example, we just looked at a testimonial from the samples. Well, this is one of the things that she didn't realize. What she didn't realize was that she got denied Walmart. The reason she got denied Walmart was she was using her home address. Now, Staples would approve you. Office Depot will approve you, but some credit issuers like Walmart won't approve you. So if you want the most amount of credit, you need to use a business address or a virtual address, a physical address for business or home or virtual. If you use a home address, some sources will still approve you, but other sources won't. What you never want to do is use a PO box or UPS address, and here's the reason why. Because lenders and credit issuers have a database of these addresses that their computers cross-check. If their computers find out that you're using a PO or UPS UPS, you automatically get denied in almost all cases. It's just an almost guaranteed way to get denied. So if you don't want to get denied, never use P.O. Box, never use UPS. If you want to get approved for all the credit you can get a physical business address or virtual, home address at least resort. But again, know that a home address will still get you denied with some sources. You need a business phone number. You never want to use a mobile phone number on an application. You never want to use a home phone as your business phone number on an application. Again, credit issuers and lenders have an online search that they do, and they know immediately if your phone number is a business phone, a home phone, or a mobile phone. So you want to make sure that you get a business phone number. Can even be a voice over IP. Some services you want to avoid, but voice over IP will work in a lot of cases. You should get a toll-free business number. You should have a fax number as well. Even if you don't get or send a lot of faxes, you never want to leave that field blank on an application. And you need to get the phone number listed with 411. That sounds easy, but it's not. 411 is one of the basic searches that a lot of sources in step 3 start looking at, and here's why. You can't fake 411. You can't go to 411.com. First of all, 411.com is not 411. A lot of people think it is, and it isn't. But you can't go to 411 directly and get listed. It doesn't work that way. The way that 411 works is they pick up your business organically from sources like Google and Bing and Yahoo and other places. So basically, you have to set up your business and wait through time for 411 to pick you up and list your business. Now, if you don't want to wait, well, then there are services you could pay to expedite. Services like Yext, which is $500 a year. Services like List Yourself, which is about $360, $400 every year that you have to pay and maintain it, and they will keep you listed with 411. So you can pay to get listed with 411, or you can organically wait to get listed, but you can't just go to them and get listed. That's why they use this as a basic criteria, because they know you can't fake it. Now, later on, I'm going to show you how to get 411 without paying a dime for it, which saves you that nearly $400 a year. So once you've done so, once we've set up this business credibly, and there are more credibility points, but I touched on the major ones that you want to focus on to set up that business credibly. Now, once you've done so, the next thing you want to do is get set up with the reporting agency. Now, there's 3 major reporting agencies in the commercial world: Equifax and Experian. Obviously, we're familiar with them. They exist in the consumer world as well. There's also Dun & Bradstreet, which is the biggest reporting agency in the world. Commercial and consumer combined, they're the biggest, and they really only are in the business world. You don't see them in the consumer world. So you want to get set up with them, and you want to do a free check. You want to do a check with them to see if you're set up with them now, if they know you exist. Why? We already know why. Because as we looked at earlier, if they know you exist, they can issue you a failing business credit score. So you want to do a check to see with all of them, do they even know you exist? Because if so, you probably want to get your credit reports to see if you have that failing score. And I'll show you a little bit later exactly how you can do a free search with all 3 of the reporting agencies to figure that out. You want to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. Some credit issuers will issue you credit without it. Some won't. So I had an experience where I was building credit for a business, applied for Staples, a business credit card, they denied me. And I thought, well, that's weird. Business credit's established. I told the person on the phone that. I said, that can't be the case. We have credit with Dun & Bradstreet. Here's the DUNS number. And they said, okay. He pulled it again with the DUNS number and got an instant approval. So the DUNS number is very, very, very useful to help you build business credit. As a matter of fact, Dun & Bradstreet won't even establish a credit profile for you unless you have your DUNS number. And you can get it for free. And I'll talk to you later about how to activate all of your credit profiles and get your DUNS number without paying any reporting agency the thousands of dollars that they may charge you to do it. You also want to fix any inaccuracies and derogatory items. Now, again, business credit repair, very different than consumer credit repair, very different, because consumer credit repair has the Fair Credit Reporting Act involved. There is no Fair Credit Reporting Act in the business world, so because of that, there's a whole different process to fix inaccuracies on your business credit reports. And a little bit later, I'm going to show you how to easily in one click get in there with all the reporting agencies to be able to fix inaccuracies. So now we followed 2 important steps. We set up the business credibly, we got set up with the reporting agencies, we fixed any any inaccuracies on the report. We made sure they don't have a negative report with us now. We got our DUNS numbers set up. The next step you want to take is to get initial credit. Now, just like with consumer credit, you're not able to get credit for your business at a lot of the places you want: Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Staples, Office Depot, stores, unless you have some kind of initial credit profile established. So let's look at Staples, for example. If you go into Staples with absolutely no consumer credit, they're going to deny you. But if you go into Staples with some kind of established consumer credit that you paid your bills as agreed, they'll approve you. Same thing in the business world. In the business world, if you go into Staples with no business credit established, they'll deny you. If you go into Staples or your bank with established business credit, they'll approve you. So the key is to establish an initial credit profile and score, and there's 3 different ways to do this. One is pay Dun & Bradstreet for their D&B credit builder. They'll typically charge you $1,500 to $2,000. I know if you've ever spoken with them, they give you they quote everybody different numbers. It's crazy the different numbers that I hear them quote people. But on average, when I look at everybody's quotes together, it's about $1,500 to $2,000, okay? So that being said, it's about $1,500 to $2,000 to get approved for and use Credit Builder. Now, the problems with this, and there's a couple of them. First of all, you only are building credit with Dun & Bradstreet. That's a problem, right? Think about what your consumer credit would be like if you only built credit with TransUnion and didn't with Equifax Experian. You'd never get a mortgage. You'd struggle to get a car loan. You'd struggle to get credit cards or pretty much any kind of credit because a lot of credit issuers look at Experian and Equifax. Same thing in the business world. You can't just build credit with Dun & Bradstreet. Even if you take this step and spend thousands of dollars, you're still going to have to go in and follow one of the other 2 ways to build initial credit, because you've got to build business credit with all 3, D&B, Equifax, and Experian. The other thing to note about D&B's Credit Builder, most trade lines you'd want to add can't be added. You can't add any kind of utility to your credit report. You can't add rent or any payments with your landlord. You can't add any bank references or credit that your things that you paid on bank accounts. You can't add major credit cards on your business credit reports. So when you rule all that out, rent, utilities, bank credit, revolving credit, major credit, well, then there's not a lot of things you probably have left to add. So those are 2 of the biggest faults that we see with this first option. Now, the second option is a fantastic way to go. You can get up to $150,000 in unsecured actual credit lines. No doc, you don't need revenue, you don't need collateral for approval. You get 0% financing even as a startup. Fantastic way to go. They usually come in the form of 4 credit lines or credit lines or credit cards with cash out capability. You could take physically all the money out. You could take out, if you get approved for $150,000, you could take $150,000 out at 0%. And these report to the business reporting agencies. Now, these ones do require a guarantee because you haven't established business credit yet. You're just starting it. But it helps you build business credit with high limit accounts, and you're getting up to $150,000 in cash credit. So it's a great way to go because you're getting your 5 initial trade lines here. But you need to have one thing to be able to actually get approved for this, which is pretty good personal credit, about a 680 credit score or higher. If you don't have a 680 credit score or higher, or you don't want to provide a guarantee, well, then that brings you to option 3, which I'll tell you in just a second. But before I do, let me kind of give you an example here. So here's a client that got $61,400 in these unsecured credit lines through places like Citi, and here's U.S. Bank. And when you add these things up, they got $61,400 in total credit. So they're building their business credit, and they're accessing physical, actual credit lines that they can take the cash out on in the process. A pretty cool thing to access when we talk about startups. And I'll tell you how to get access to this here a little bit as we actually dive in and go into the loan piece of this. Now, the third option, if you don't want to provide a personal guarantee, or if you don't want to have your personal credit pulled or don't have good credit, and again, even if you don't have good credit, I'll talk to you in a little bit about how to still get that funding option we just talked about, even if you don't have good credit. But if you don't have one of those 2 options, or don't want to spend the $1,500 to $2,000 with D&B, you don't have the good credit, or want to go with the personal guarantee option, well, then you go with this option, which is starter vendors. These are guys that will give you initial credit even if you have none established now. Now, they usually offer net terms like net 30, which gives you 30 days to pay what you borrow, versus revolving where you could pay minimal monthly payments. And you've got to find vendors that do report to the business reporting agencies and who will approve you with no prior credit established. I'm going to introduce you to a bunch of those sources here in a few minutes as we dive in and take a look at the fastest way to build business credit. So you've got to have 5 of these accounts reporting. It doesn't matter if you're using the Visa, the MasterCard cash credit with good credit that I just talked about as option 2, or the vendor credit in option 3. You need 5 accounts to move on to step 4 in this process. Now, some starter vendors include Uline, Quill, even Wells Fargo has a secured credit card, which does require average or better credit for that, but Quill and Uline have no personal guarantee, no personal credit check for approval. Now, you got to be careful. Most vendors, over 97%, I personally believe it's 99%, but the stats on this show that it's 97% of vendors don't report to the reporting agencies. You have to be careful. There's a lot of companies out there that actually reported at one time and no longer report. And I see people all the time that try to use forums, even use our videos to build their own business credit. And the problem is they're going out and using access, or they're trying to get approved for credit for vendors that no longer report. Then they wait for months for those accounts to report, only to find out that they never were going to report, and they've lost 2-3 months worth of time. So again, I'm going to show you how to shortcut the process and not make those mistakes as we dive in a little bit further, so you don't run into those obstacles that literally will cost you months and months worth of time. So either way, whether you go with the personal guarantee or the no personal guarantee option, then what you want to do is you need to have 5 accounts reporting before you can start to get actual other accounts without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check, the ones with limits that are 10 to 100 times higher than with consumer credit cards. Now, with this step, you start to get approved for store credit cards. Again, Amazon, Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, almost any retailer you do business with offers these kind of commercial credit cards. You also start to get fleet credit. Fleet credit's where you get fuel and maintenance for vehicles and auto repairs covered. So if it's on your vehicle, well, then it's definitely helpful. If it's on a fleet of vehicles, or like you're an over-the-road trucker, well, this becomes crucial because it could be $600 or more to fill up your gas tank. Your truck breaks down, you have all kinds of maintenance and repairs. So fleet credit becomes very useful, and you can start to get all this when you have at least 5 accounts reporting. Now, that's the key. Again, when I say you can get this kind of credit with 5 accounts, the reality is you can start to get some of these accounts with 5 trade lines. And I'm going to show you here in a few minutes how you can actually easily tell exactly how many trade lines you need to get to these different tiers of accounts. So here's some actual approvals from one of our clients, Christine. And again, Christine has been on one of our webinars as well, where she's mapped out the entire process she went through. At the time she got $158,000 in credit. She's now over $250,000 in credit that she's obtained as well. These are her actual real approvals. So you see in the beginning, she starts to get $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 approvals. Sprint $2,000, Amazon $4,500, Exxon $5,000, Fuelman Fleet $6,000, BJ $7,000. That's a cash credit card actually. BP $8,000. Now she's in the transportation industry, so she got a lot of fleet credit. She gets a lot of gas credit because that's what the industry she's in. If she worked out of an office, she'd be getting Office Depot and the Staples, and she'd be getting a lot more office store type credit, but she's in the transportation industry, which is why she goes and gets fleet credit, which is why she's in here getting, gas credit cards, for example. Then as these accounts start to report, she starts to jump up to the $10,000, $15,000 limits, the $10,000 at Lowe's, the $12,500 at Apple. Shell 15, Office Depot 15, Sunoco, Sears 15,000. Then she just starts to jump to the top tier, where you start to get to 20,000 plus pretty quick. Costco 20,000, Best Buy 40, Dell 40, Ford. She actually is getting her vehicle without the personal guarantee, without the personal credit check. Got that through Ford and got approved for 40. She's even got a roofing account with an individual limit of 75,000. These are all individual limit credit accounts. No consumer credit check was required for approval. No personal guarantee. As a matter of fact, when I asked Christine on the webinar, did you provide a personal credit check? She paused and said, no, they never even asked me for my personal credit. The reason they never asked her is because they pull her business credit account, they see 10 trade lines, and then they start approving her automatically just based on trades. So all of this is what's really possible and real results from an actual client. And if you ever come on our Facebook and Periscope streams, you'll see how we verified these. We have her come on. We have a lot of people chime in. They tell us how much credit they get. We pull their business credit reports and we verify because we see see the accounts there. So we verify all this before we even put it out there and show you that these are the kind of results you get. So these are the kind of results you're going to get when you have at least 5 accounts reporting on your business credit reports. Now, when you have at least 10 accounts reporting, then you start to get to Visa cards. Then you start to get to MasterCards. Then you start to get the financing without the personal guarantee and without the personal credit check. About 2 weeks ago, one of our followers on Periscope just got a $20,000 Chase Inc. credit card with no personal guarantee, with no personal credit check. This is when you start to get the auto vehicle financing without the personal guarantee, without the personal credit check. You need at least 10 accounts to get to this point. Now, a lot of people ask me, how long does it take to build business credit? Well, it depends. If you're doing it on your own, it can take you years because you're probably going to make a lot of mistakes on the way. And I'll show you here in literally just within minutes how to avoid making those mistakes. But realistically, how long it takes to build business credit comes down to how long it takes accounts to report. On average, it takes accounts to report about 30 to 60 days. So if you come in and get 5 accounts in step 3, then you use those accounts, you pay the bill. From the time you pay the bill, it takes about 30 days for those accounts to start reporting. When those accounts start reporting, then you actually have the trade lines on there. When the trade lines show, you can move to the next tier. So it takes about 30 to 60 days in between these steps to get the credit, use the credit, have the credit report. Once the credit reports, then you have enough trade lines to move forward. It's also important to note that here's a big misconception when it comes to building business credit. So many people believe that business credit's based on the amount of revenue you generate in time in business. You know why? A lot of people have room to believe that. Because if you go to an Office Depot or a Staples, their applications will tell you you need to be in business 3 years. They'll tell you you need $1 million in revenue. But what really happens is if you go to Staples or Office Depot with 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts on your credit report, 8 trade lines, and you don't have $1 million in revenue, you don't have 3 years in business, you'd still get approved. So the approvals they issue really are not based on revenue or time in business. Why? Because you can lie about that stuff if you wanted to. They need something concrete you can't lie about, and they use trade lines as the real concrete evidence of how established your business is. You have the trade lines, you get automated approvals. It's all based on the number of trade lines you have and knowing how many trade lines each individual source requires to be able to get approved for. So here's some actual business credit approvals. Here's one for 12 grand. Here's one for 10. Here's one for 22,000, Chase credit card. Another one for 15,000 from Citi. Here's one for 10,000 from Chase. One from 8,000 from Inc. Here's one for 7,000. Here's one for 50,000 from American Express. Here's another for 10,000 for Bank of America. 24 grand from Amex. Here's another 50,000 from Amex as well. So again, this is the result of what happens when you build business credit. You start to be able to obtain a lot of these high limit accounts, and in a lot of cases, like Marlon's, you're getting the credit without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. So here's another one of our clients, Marlon, I was looking for a fast way to get money to grow my credit business. After failing to get approved for loans in several banks, I discovered Credit Suite after getting initial vendor accounts. I continued applying and getting all types of credit, and now have over 100 business credit cards in my wallets, totaling over $1 million in total available credit. I have fleet credit that I use for auto repairs and fuels. I have cash credit cards with most major banks, including Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I secured almost all this credit without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check, and I've been able to get loans with many sources, including PayPal and Cabbage, and low rates and loan amounts over 100 grand. So I want to give a disclaimer here. Look, any testimonial that I give you is absolutely real. As a matter of fact, I do these interviews. I do interviews with our clients, and this is where these testimonials actually come from. If you ever want, our team will get you Marlon's interview. We'll get you the samples, recent interview. I'll even send you one of the samples interviews in a webinar. If you're staying to the end, I'll send it to you in the email. I'm going to send your playback. Secondly, how much credit you really get, 100 grand, 250, as we've seen a couple people get, $1 million plus as Marlon. And there's a reason that I made Marlon on the left. This is the left image, is a screenshot of my interview with him. There's a reason I have him show the cards. Because let's be real, $1 million in business credit seems pretty crazy. So this is why I have him physically show the cards during my interviews, so you can actually see that he's really obtained this credit. So how much credit can you get? It depends on how much you apply for. Just like with consumer credit, there's no cap of how much money you can use your credit to get. How much you get depends on how much you apply for. So that's my FTC disclosure, is that these results may not be typical. What's typical for you is going to depend on how much credit you apply for. There's no ceiling of how much you can get or how fast you can get it. How much you get depends on how many accounts you apply for. How fast you get it depends on how many accounts you're applying for in the early stages. The more credit you apply for, the more you get. The higher the limits you get, as you just saw in the beginning with trade lines. And again, you start to get more and more credit with higher and higher limits. This is the end goal of what I'm looking to accomplish for you. So how do you get business credit? We haven't talked about loans. We haven't talked about credit lines. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a lot of the things I told you I would reference. I referenced a lot of things early, and I said I would show you how to do those things. I'm going to get into that right now and physically show you how our clients go through this process, how our clients are actually building business credit. So you'll see exactly how Marlon got his results, how the samples got their results, how all these clients you're seeing actually got real results, not just the theory that I went over with you, but I'm actually going to give you the inside scoop here. I'm going to let you into something and show you exactly how these clients are getting these results, how they're condensing years of business credit building into only months. Then, after I do a walkthrough here of this, which shouldn't take more than probably 10 minutes, then I'm going to actually show you the loans and the credit lines and how to access all that so we can still wrap up within our 90-minute time frame here and get to any questions you may have. So this is the home screen of what we call our business finance suite. There's a lot of things we can do here, but I'm going to go ahead and jump in and go to the business credit builder. So as we talked about, the business credit building really comes down to steps, and this looks like a quick overview of the steps we talked about. You set up the credibility, you're getting the reports, you start building your business credit, you access your credit monitoring, and you continue through the tiers of business credit building. So this is what the process really looks like. Now, in our finance suite, we actually break this down into sub-steps, and this makes it really easy for you to get little chunks done as time permits, because we're all business owners, we're all busy. So when we jump into step one, we talk about the importance of that business credibility. Now, you'll see that this finance suite's completely custom user experience. So if you have a business name, you say yes, you enter your name, you move on pretty quick. Okay, if you don't have your business name, you click no, and then we walk through and we introduce you to the Secretary of State records. We view those restricted industries. So we talked about those restricted industries earlier. You can make sure your business isn't in a restricted industry so you can come in and avoid high-risk industry names. You'll see quick videos that'll walk you through the actual process in English and in Spanish. As a matter of fact, if I change this down here to Spanish, you'll see that everything in the entire suite just completely changed to Spanish in one click. So it makes it easy for you, or if you were to actually sell this to customers, it quick to change between English and Spanish. So the very first thing we're going to do is set up the business credibility. Now remember the samples. Remember we talked about how she got denied for bank loans? Here's why she got denied, step 1.2. She actually had an address mismatch. So we actually will do 4 checks to make sure that your address meets the criteria that lenders and credit issuers look at. Like I said, I gave you a quick overview of some of the information they're looking at for credibility. There's actually a lot of things that you need to know that you need to make sure that you meet to get approved. Well, those address mismatches is what was causing the samples to get denied. When they fixed it, they then were able to immediately come in and get the Amex. That's how they got the result they got. They got denied with banks. They came in, they fixed the address mismatch. That helped them start to get the initial business credit, which got them the Amex card, which got them approved for the loans. So in this, we're walking through the same criteria to make sure that your business meets the address requirements that the lenders and credit issuers have. We help you set up your entity here, your website and email. We get your EIN number for free. We make sure your licensing is set up. We help make sure your business bank account and your bank statements actually meet the criteria that lenders and credit issuers have. We walk through and help you get a merchant account if you need one. We even help you with all aspects of setting up your phone number, your toll-free number, your fax number, and right here, if you select your listed with 411, we automatically list you with 411 as well. So you don't need to pay the $400 a year you would need to pay to list yourself, or $500 a year with services like Yext, or $2,000 a year for places like Credit Builder. We do it here for you for free. And by the way, Yes, we do pay for this. We do work with List Yourself. They're one of the biggest bills that we incur monthly. We pay for this for all of our clients, and we do it for a reason. Because one of the most important things you need to start getting credit in step 3 is an EIN number and a 411. And by the way, I'm going to show you a bunch of starter vendors as we jump into step 3 here. So in step 1, we set up that credibility. Now keep in mind, you do not ever go through this process alone. We work with you hand in hand. What makes our clients go from taking years to months is that they work with our business advisors hand in hand. They will call you. They will email you. They will call you 5 times in the first 5 days. They will stay on the phone with you and help you go through the steps. They will stay on the phone and help you apply. They will also be available to answer questions you have. You can click chat during the day. At night, it's help. You can also call or email. We're here from 9 to 7 Eastern time, and we will help you as well as reach out to you and help coach you through the process to succeed. Why that matters? Because what if you apply for the DUNS number and it doesn't show up? What if you apply for Staples and get denied? What if you apply for a vendor credit and you get denied? Well, again, a lot of people get stuck and don't know where to go. There's nobody they can go to for help. So they spend months trying to find the answers or give up. We don't want you to do that. So the advisor and having people help you through this process really is the key of going from it taking years to actually being able to get it done in months. Now, then we help you after we set up the credibility. Again, you're seeing here that we practice what we preach. The next thing we do is help you get set up with reporting agencies. We help you get your DUNS number, which you can get at no cost. Even though DMB will try to convince you that you need to spend thousands for it, DMB will tell you that you need to pay to get your DUNS and credit profile activated. Well, in this step 2, we get your DUNS. In step 3, we help activate your credit profile with DMB, Equifax, and Experian. So in one click, we're helping you come in and actually get your DUNS number. And we're also helping you do those free checks. Remember with the importance of looking at your credit reports to see what's on there to make sure that you haven't been issued a failing score. Well, right here, we help you do the free checks with Experian, with Equifax, and with DMB to make sure that you don't have anything on your credit report that needs to be addressed before you actually come in and start applying for credit. The next thing we do is we help you access real starter vendors. Now, these are the credit issuers that will give you credit even when nobody else will. Now, I can show you a bunch of sources here, and you can see there's a bunch of them here, but there's a lot in showing you that it will make a difference for a couple reasons. First of all, a lot of these sources are unique to us. We actually work with companies that have great product and services. We actually help them report to the business credit reporting agencies, and we basically develop exclusive relationships so only our clients are able to actually work with them and build their business credit. So there's a lot of sources we have in here that you've never seen, you don't even know exist, because again, it's something that our clients have exclusive access to. Others like Quill, well, it's not exclusive. Anybody can work with Quill. But here's the thing. It's not a matter of knowing the sources. It's a matter of knowing the specifics of the sources. So for each source, we're listing who they report to. Why this matters is because, again, we talked about how many trade lines you have on the business credit reports. Well, basically, they're called payment experiences. And one account that reports to 2 reporting agencies counts as 2 payment experiences. So if you want to build business credit faster, you get credit with the credit issuers that report to 2 or 3 reporting agencies, and then you can really expedite your business credit building. So instead of getting 5 individual accounts to get your 5 trades, you could get 2 or 3 accounts that report to 2 or 3 reporting agencies to get your 5 trades. With each source, we list a description of what they sell, one click to apply. And we also make it easy to give you the exact underwriting criteria that you must meet to get approved. Now, here's why this matters. Because Quill is a perfect example. You have to spend $50 to get it reported. And another thing you need to know about Quill, it takes them 90 days to report the actual account. So here's why this matters. If you go into Quill and you think they report monthly because you didn't have this information and you spent $30, and then you wait, and 60 days later it hasn't reported, and you go to Quill and say, why doesn't it report? And Quill says, well, we only report every 90 days. You say, no big deal, I'll wait another month. You wait another month, it still doesn't report. You call Quill, and the Quill says, you have to spend $50 to get it reported. And you're like, come on, man, I didn't know that. Well, you just wasted 3 months worth of time to get one account reported. Here's why knowing the underwriting guidelines is so important to your success. So knowing the tiers, the order of credit to apply for, is so crucial that there's several safeguards that we put in place to help you do it. We help you set up your business credibility. We gray out any accounts you can't get and only add colors to accounts that you can. And then we also come in and we list the actual underwriting guidelines for every source, so you'll know exactly what it takes to get approved. If you don't know this, then you make the biggest and most common mistake in business credit building. You're applying for credit out of order before you can get approved. The other thing that we do is we actually tell you with every source exactly how many accounts you need reporting to get approved, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. So in step 4, we save you a ton of money because you need to access your credit reports to build business credit. This makes sense, right? Because to build business credit, you need to be able to see how many trade lines are on your credit reports. Remember, moving from tier to tier in business credit building comes down to how many accounts you have reported. Well, the only way you can know how many accounts you have reported is to actually be able to come in and be able to see your credit reports. So you can come in here and get set up. DMB's credit monitoring is $159 a month. Experience credit monitoring is about $50 a month, and Equifax is about $20. But you don't really need Equifax. You need Experian and DMB because that's where most credit issuers report to. Equifax isn't as big of a deal. So those two will cost you $210 a month. And I'm going to show you something really cool. With us, you don't spend $210 for Experian and DMB. You come right over here to two places. You can come over to be able to access your business credit reports. Well, let's go right here to Credit Report Dashboard. And once you do this, you'll be able to pull up your actual credit reports with Experian and with DMB. You'll be able, through our nav integration, to be able to see factors that actually affect your score, utilization, how it affects your score, derogatory items, how it affects your scores. You'll be able to see your actual reports, your summary data here. You'll be able to see your business information, factors influencing your score, all the summary information, tax liens, UCC filings, and actual trade line data. So you'll be able to see this with not only just Experian, but you'll get access to your full DMB reports as well. You can see factors affecting your score, the same thing, derogatories and credit utilization. You'll actually be able to see your report data too. Business information, summary data, lawsuits, UCC filings. You'll even be able to come in and see all your trade line information. And unlike $210 going directly to Experian and DMB, the Finance Suite gives you access to the absolute cheapest credit monitoring anywhere. It's $24 a month. Now, not everybody gets this, okay? I'll show you here in a few minutes how to get access to it. A lot of our clients do not have access to this, okay? But if you are given access, then you can get your credit reports for cheaper than anywhere else, which is $24 a month versus $210. That saves you $2,200 a year. Plus, you can also come in here and fix inaccuracies with all three reporting agencies as well. So if you have negative information on DMB, Equifax, and Experian, like I said, one click, you're getting access. So you can get video training here if you want training on what you need to know, or you can just come in here, click on DMB, Equifax, and Experian, and dispute the inaccuracies. So far to date, 100% of accounts that we've helped clients dispute have been removed from credit reports. I'm not telling you we're perfect. I'm not saying that at all. I'm telling you at some point we're not going to get a deletion. I'm sure we will. But at this point, every account we've ever helped a client dispute has been removed. So again, we help you fix derogatory items on your credit report as well. Once we've done so, then we also help you come in and read your credit reports, because again, credit reports are very different than consumer credit reports. With commercial credit reports, they don't show a credit issuer name, for example. They only show the type of account you have. They show sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different kind of credit scores. So we help you come in and learn how to navigate these credit reports, and I can turn off Spanish here if I want to. So you actually know how to read them, how to control your scores to make it even easier and faster for you to be able to build business credit. Now, once you've got those 5 accounts reporting, well, then you can start to get approved for credit here. And the other safeguard that we use is we tell you exactly how many trade accounts you need reporting to be able to get approved for even more credit. As a matter of fact, you can see here what it looks like when I don't qualify. I did this intentionally so you can see what it looks like when credit accounts are grayed out because you don't have enough credit to actually come in and get approved. So you can see here that you get fleet credit cards. You're getting credit at places like Budget and ABC and Macy's and AutoZone, Lowe's, Staples, HD, Amazon credit. This is all the kind of credit that you get when you start to have at least 5 accounts reporting. Now, as you continue to build more and more credit, then you start to come in and get more and more tiers of credit open for you. You start to get Office Depot, Costco and Staples and Tractor Supply and Walmart, and you start to get Amazon's revolving. And again, we're telling you where each one reports to. So this is a great one because it reports to all three. We're letting you apply in one click, and we're even giving you all the instructions you need to know on how to get approved for the credit without the personal guarantee on every single source. Chevron and BP and Speedway and Conoco and on and on and on. I could just continue to scroll and scroll and scroll. So as I come down here and get to the top tier, 14 trades to report here. You start to get auto vehicle financing and Dell and Racetrack. You start to get MasterCards. You start to get access to Home Depot and Sam's Club and all different kind of accounts. As a matter of fact, we've even got other accounts here that don't report to the reporting agencies, but accounts you can still get access to. Places like Newegg and AT&T for phones and Ford for vehicle financing and PayPal for loans and T-Mobile and Sprint and Fundbox for loans and Wave and, I mean, Apple. And so, again, it's a matter of now at this point, you come in and just at will get access to the actual credit that you want to get. So again, now you've seen what the process really looks like. Now you're also able to come in here and get financing. So we haven't talked about loans and credit lines. So with loans and credit lines, the Finance Suite also gives you access to every legitimate loan and credit line that exists out there today. We vet them through thousands of different lenders. Literally, we maintain a list of thousands of different lenders that offer these kind of programs. So you can get money even when you can't get money at a bank. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have consistent revenue. Well, then that opens up revenue financing. It opens up private equity financing. It opens up term loans. It opens up lines of credit just based on revenue. You can come in, you can learn more, you can apply as well. You're not applying through a bank. You're working with your own finance team. We have finance officers and finance processors. So think of it like this. When you need money, where would you go? Well, our clients just email, call, or click chat and engage with their finance officer. Then we sit down, we develop a finance blueprint. We talk about all the money you can get now. We talk about even more money that you can get in the future and develop a blueprint for you to be able to actually access that money. So if your credit strength is that you have unsecured credit or you have good personal credit or a guarantor that does. So even if you have a guarantor, a family member, a friend, somebody that has good credit, then you can get up to $150,000 in unsecured financing at the 0% rates with the 680 FICO score. We help you get that. We also have many credit lines as well. Maybe you need to get equipment. Maybe you need to buy inventory. Maybe you need to buy commercial real estate. Maybe you have stocks, bonds, a 401k. Maybe you have equipment. Maybe you have account receivables or purchase orders. Maybe you have a book of business, or maybe you want to flip homes, or maybe you have commercial vehicles you want to buy. Any of that, we can help you get financing to use things like equipment to borrow against to get money, or get money to buy equipment. Even with good credit, even with bad credit, we've got options that will work. We just included 2 brand new credit lines. One credit line, no consumer credit check whatsoever. If you have about $100,000 in revenue, you can get approved for it with no consumer credit check. And it happens, and you fund within 24 to 48 hours. We just added a brand new credit line yesterday. You can get up to $150,000. You need a 620 FICO score to get approved if you have consistent revenue. We've got another credit line here through revenue financing just based on bank account management. And if you have a good bank account management, you don't overdraw your bank account, you can get a credit line here with no personal credit check. So tons of real credit lines with 0% to 5% interest rates based on the strength of your business, even when you can't get loans. And then through the Finance Suite, if you're offering business credit financing, then there's a bunch of stuff that you're getting in here as well, which I'll dive into here probably in just a minute. So as you can see, here's a client that actually went through the process on the financing side. His name's Dr. Brandon. He needed $417,000 to actually pay off a tax lien because he was closing his practice because the IRS was after him. Well, we came in, he had credit issues, he didn't have collateral, a lot of banks had denied him, we got multiple rounds of funding, we got him the money, he paid off the IRS, he opened up a second practice, even ran for public office, and so far it's got over $1 million, $1.5 million in funding. And how did we do it? We did it because a lender can't do what we do. We combined different kind of financing. We got them unsecured financing. We got them revenue loans. We got them private investor money. So because we work with so many different kinds of funding, we're able to get them a lot more money in better terms because we work with all legitimate types of financing, not just some. So you're watching this webinar on the computer, tablet, phone, because you're looking for the easiest and fastest way to get money to grow. You probably have already struggled to get the money and credit you need, and probably are looking for the easiest solution to get so. So, well, when you look at our finance suite, you're basically getting business credit for your business that's not linked to your social through the top selling business credit system. This is a system that, again, we've helped over 10,000 people build business credit today, and you're getting access to every legitimate funding option. If you don't have this, where do you go if you need money? I mean, how statistics show you will not succeed unless you have access to capital. So we make it easy by putting all this business credit and financing in one place. And you can do so in English or in Spanish. You can come in and get the cutting edge technology to meet the credibility requirements before you apply. Set up your business name correctly. Set up your entity, your EIN, your address credibly. Get your phone number set up. Get listed with 411, which saves you $400. Get your website email address set up. Check your licensing and online listing for compliance. Again, just address verification alone, we do four searches that almost every business we find fails. That's the underlying reason they get denied for loans. Well, you could be denied for loans again and again, banging your head against the wall unless you really understand the nitty-gritty of what these issuers are looking for of credit and lenders, and we help you through that process, even getting your bank account and merchant account set up in a way where those things will even help you get approved for more money. We help you get set up with all 3 reporting agencies and credit activated with the 3 credit reporting agencies and get your DUNS. So again, Dun & Bradstreet will try to tell you it's $1,500 just to activate your credit profile and get your DUNS. Well, we help you do all those things with all the reporting agencies and get your DUNS with DMB without having to pay that. We help you fix inaccuracies with all 3 reporting agencies because stuff happens. And if something does happen to your credit report, even in the beginning, we want to make sure that you have an easy way to fix it. We have the largest supply of starter vendors, including exclusive sources, people that just help our customers offer business credit to them because we help them gain the ability to report. We worked with them to get their ability to report with DMB Equifax Experian. The most store credit, you saw almost every major retail store that you need is available. The hard to find Visa cards, the MasterCards, the fleet credit, the auto vehicle financing. None of this requires a personal guarantee or a personal credit check for approval. We get you the cash flow financing options with no consumer credit check. We get you asset collateral-based loans and credit lines with rates under 2%, the unsecured financing up to $150,000, private money, alternative SBA, venture capital loans, term loans, and line of credit. A lot of them available with no credit check that you may never find on your own, all in one place to help you access the most amount of capital as well. And with our partner program, you can offer business credit financing and get paid. We give you training, contracts, sales scripts, seminars, website templates, press releases, PowerPoints, ebooks, everything you need to be successful. So here's what that looks like. Our partner opportunity, you can come in and track commissions. You get paid on funding deals of the funding your customers get. You can set up and manage your sales reps. You can set up and manage clients. You can add clients easily, okay, as well as come in and be able to access partner resources where we give you partner training. We teach you everything you need to know about offering business credit and financing through our 7-step partner training. So, for example, you want to know how to sell the finance suite? You click on this, you come in, and we teach you in short videos that are all done by me personally that last about 5 minutes to 15 minutes that teach you every aspect. You can even take a quiz and get certified as a business credit expert as you go through partner training. Your sales team has their own training. So when you hire a sales team, you don't need to train them. We give your sales team the actual training, and they have unique access, so they don't have access to your whole back office. They only have access to their own training. And check out the actual resources. When we do weekly coaching webinars every Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern as well. The last 2 weeks, we've went over 20 different hacks you can use to escape the rat race and work on your business and not in your business. Here's ones we've done on gathering intelligence, how to close and present. Here's ones on business credit secret sales tactics that we went through for a couple weeks. We went through credit report reviews. We went through Facebook ads, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, live streaming. We went through Facebook ads. So every week we do live training, and you have access to an exclusive group for all other partners as well as all the training as well. And again, this goes on and on. I've got 5 years worth of training here. So I think nearing 200 different training webinars that are in there. You also can come in here to resource library, and literally every resource you're going to need is here. Marketing ebooks, marketing articles, emails, flyers, PowerPoints, press releases, seminars, marketing videos, marketing webinars, everything. And if you want to actually take a look and see just to kind of get a feel for the actual quality, they're all professionally done. It's the same materials we use, and they're all white label. The finance suite, when you sell it, it's in your name. This is your branding, your logo. Our team even introduces themselves as being with your company. So again, it's all white label. You're selling business credit in your name using all the resources that we give you. It's basically like a franchise without paying an actual franchise fee. That's what it really comes down to. You're getting access to an actual franchise without paying the actual franchise fee. You can see that all the materials are professionally done. So you can get PowerPoints, you can get marketing flyers. So everything you need to be successful, you can come in and get access to, and it's all completely white label. As you can see, it's all completely customizable. So everything you need to be successful offering business credit and financing, you're getting through professionally done resources that would cost you literally, I don't even know how much money to do on your own, but again, they're all customizable resources. Each one of these flyers even cost $400 when we originally had them designed. So again, we're even giving you an 8-page website that you're getting as well, and that's at, let me see if I can pull that up, University of Business Credit.com. Let me see if I can pull up that website really quick if I type that all in right. So we're even giving you your own website where you can customize the image, and everything is professionally done. It all comes as part of our partner package if you want it. And all of this is customizable. If you don't like our images, if you don't like the content, it's WordPress, so the whole thing is completely customizable. So again, you're getting basically everything you need to run your entire business credit business. Spanish marketing materials, I didn't even talk about that. We have a whole section where all the marketing materials are available in Spanish as well. We're giving you all the training on finance products and finance videos and flyers on each of your products. A jumpstart program where we help close your initial sales for you. We'll get on the phone and help you close your sales. Sales rep training, client dashboard to manage clients, direct funding where you don't even need to sell anything. You can sell our finance suite and make money on it, or you could just bring customers in to get loans without selling anything first. So if you're looking to get started, if this makes sense to you, if you want to work with us on one or both parts, you can come in, build business credit, work with our finance suite, work with our team to do it, or you could do all that and get access to our partner opportunity as well. And I'm going to do something that I don't do, but only a couple times a year. We don't offer discounts because we don't need to. We're the only ones that offer anything close to what we have. It's the only system where you could build business credit and get loans. It's the only system where you build business credit with the help of a full advising team. It's the only place where you access all financing products in one place and work with finance officers. So we don't usually discount. But as part of this webinar, I'm going to do something we usually only do a couple times a year, and I'm going to come in and we're actually going to give you a discount if it's something that makes sense for you, if you're interested in getting going. So our top plan with payments retails for about $7,000 if you go to our website. You can get started if you're looking to get started today for only 7 payments of $497. Now, if that's too much money, no big deal. Usually it's $597 for the same program. We're giving you about a 15% discount here, but we'll work with you on payments. I'll give you information here to contact our team. The bottom line is, does this make sense for you? If you're doing this on your own, you're going to pay $2,200 more for credit monitoring. You're going to do a lot, pay even more on your own to do it than work with us. And if $497 is even too much, no worries. You just have to communicate with our team and we'll work out a customized payment plan for you. And we're also giving you a discount where you're able to get it going for just one payment of $2,500. Guys, think of it like this. Credit monitoring alone is $288 a year with us. If you go to Experian and DMV, you're going to spend $2,500. Credit monitoring alone that you save with us is $2,200 a year. Every year you save that. Not to mention 411, not to mention everything else that we're giving you where you're actually saving money. So it's actually cheaper to work with us, and we actually help expedite the results as well. We'll customize a payment plan for you, and again, this discount's only available for this webinar, period. If you're enrolling this week through Friday, then you'll be able to get the discount. If not, you go back to our normal cost, which is about $3,000 for a bottom package and $597 a month to actually get going. It's risk-free. We give you everything. Even if you make your first payment, you get access to your own finance suite login. You can log in 24/7 through your own URL, and you can also access it on mobile devices because we know you're going to love it. So to get going, all you have to do is go to creditsuite.com/webinar to get started. Once you check out, you immediately get login credentials. Our advisors will call you the first day, and they'll call you 5 times in the first 5 days and continue to call you after that. And I'm also going to go ahead and give you a bunch of really cool bonuses. One, you're going to get 30 minutes with our initial advising team. Any questions you have, any help you want them to stay on the phone while you go through the entire step 1, they'll do so. Step 2, or bonus 2, I'm going to get you access to the credit monitoring that not all of our clients have to save you that $2,200 a year. We're also going to give you a free business valuation. I didn't show you this, but it's pretty cool. We don't add it for everybody, but the business valuation lets you see how much your business is worth anytime you actually want to. You come right down here to business valuation. You enter some basic information about your business here, and it will actually give you an ongoing look of how much your business is actually worth. So at any given time, if you want to know how much your business is worth, we come in and you can use this business valuation tool. You'll spend at least $500 to $2,000 out there in the world finding out how much your business is worth. And I'll pull this up and show you in a second what this actually looks like so you can see how it tallies. But again, I'll go through the rest of this and I'll pull this up while I'm actually doing that and while I'm actually coming in and answering questions. And then you're also going to get a ready to publish book. So you become a published author. If you go to Amazon and type in Ty Crandall, you'll see credit on Business Credit Decoded and Perfect Credit. We're going to give you the book. So you can actually come in, put your own name and title on it, your own bio, and become literally a published author overnight. So again, if you've ever heard before how credible you can look if you have a book, well, now you won't have to worry about that anymore. We're going to go ahead and make you a published author. So you're also getting a guaranteed. It's pretty simple. If you don't think it's worth every penny of what you paid, or that you'll be able to make many times what you spent, we give you 100% of your money back. It's that simple. Guys, look, business credit building is a process. It's the way that it is. We'll help you condense it from years to months. But if you don't want to be here, we don't want you here, period. We don't want you here. We want to work with people that are serious about getting results. So if you dive in for a month and you say, well, this isn't for me, we'll give you 100% of your money back. No questions asked. Because again, we only want to work with companies that are actually committed to be able to come in and be successful. So if that's you, great. If you try it out and you say, hey man, it's not me. I tried it for a week. I tried it for a month. It's not for me. Well, then we'll give you 100% of your money back. So if you think about it, we'll customize your payment plan. We'll give you 100% of your money back if you don't want it. If you don't think we're credible, we'll look at our credibility. Go to our website, creditsuite.com, and type in credibility. We're A+ rated with the BBB. We're not accredited. We've never paid them any money. We've earned A+ because we've never had a complaint in the lifetime of our company. We've got a 5-star rating with Trustpilot. We've got tons and tons of media exposure that you'll see, testimonials, case studies, results. You could Google my name and see how credible we are. So to recap, you get your own finance suite to access anytime you want. You get concierge service with your business advisors, the free DUNS and credit profile activation that D&B will charge $1,500 for. I didn't even show you this, but I showed you those snapshots of businesses where you can see their Experian access. You get that for, which is $600 a year, but we give that to you for free. You're getting the largest supply of starter vendors and revolving store credit, the unsecured financing for up to $150,000 if you qualify, finance officer team, the free 411 listing, which is $360 a year, the cash, the Visa cards, the MasterCard, the Amex that you'll probably never find if you're trying to build business credit on your own. We help you fix inaccuracies with all the reporting agencies. You're getting fleet credit, all of this without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check, auto vehicle financing in your business name, credit monitoring where you're saving $2,200 a year, cash flow, collateral-based financing with rates lower than 2%. Maybe you can qualify for this now, maybe you can't. But the good thing is for the life of your business, we stay with you to help you get money whenever it is that you need it. And with our partner program, we're getting you the training, the contracts, the sales scripts, the website, the press releases, articles, free reports, ebooks, a year's worth of email content, a year's worth of social media content, videos, webinars. I mean, a franchise that you would normally spend 25 to 50 grand with, you can get with our VIP package, which is just about $1,000 more with this webinar special than our core package. And you're also getting all Spanish marketing materials, financing marketing. We help you close the deal, sales rep training, everything you need to successfully offer business credit and financing. The 30-minute coaching call with our team, the credit monitoring that saves you $2,200 a year, the free business valuation, which I'll show you here in a minute, and the ready to publish book so you can literally become a published author overnight. We're giving you all those bonuses. And of course, we give you our guarantee. Bottom line, you want your money back, you don't like it, doesn't work for you, then all you have to do is just let us know, and we will, without any question, give you your money back. Again, our goal is only to work with people that are happy. This is why we have no complaints, none, zero, ever. Online, we've never had a client complain. We have some crazy dude on Ripoff Report that wanted our services for free in exchange for a testimonial. We told him no, he filed a complaint. If you go look at it, there's like 8 people that responded that are real clients that said he was crazy. Okay, so the bottom line is that you're getting everything you need to be successful to build business credit, and at the exact same time, you're also getting everything you need if you're interested in offering business credit and financing as a service as well, to be able to do so. And I told you I would show you how you can actually do the valuation. Here's what that valuation looks like. And this you can get anytime you want. We're going to give you a free valuation report. It's a 29-page report that tells you how much your business is worth, where it compares to other businesses in your industry, etc. But this is really cool. You enter this information in real time. It populates an estimate value of your business. So anytime you want to see how much your business is worth without paying a dime to do so, you basically can come in, enter some information with incomes, assets, etc., and it will calculate the actual value of your business. And that's using the business valuation tool, which again, this alone, if you try to go look online to see how much it is to get a business valuation, it's at least $600 to $2,000 at every source we found. So that alone is $600 to $2,000 every time you want your value. With this, you can get ongoing ideas of value without paying anything extra. That's part of the actual bonuses that you'll have. So I didn't have a bunch of time, and if you want to look through a bunch of the other partner resources, etc., we will, but I promised you I would get to a Q&A. So I want to go ahead and answer any questions that you actually have. And again, if you're interested in getting started, there's the link, creditsuite.com/webinar. I don't expect that you just listen to me talk and you just jump in and get started. If you do, great. Then you know what you want, and early action takers get rewarded. I think it makes sense. But if you have questions, then give us a call, 877-600-2487. It's 9:40 my time, p.m. So most of my team probably will not be answering the phone right now. But if you call right now and leave a voicemail, they will call you first thing in the morning. And I mean first thing as probably before 9. My guys get in the office at 7:30 in the morning. Okay, you can email us, info@creditsuite.com. We'll call you in the morning, 877-600-2487. You can call us. We'll call you back. If you leave a voicemail, we will work with you on payments. I cannot say this enough. We will customize a payment plan that works for you if our normal plans don't work for you. We give you big incentives if you pay one pay, and if you come in and do monthly, we've got really reasonable monthly payments that we're discounting as part of this that we don't ever, very rarely discount. And then we're also going to work with you. So if you want customized payments, you just have to be honest with us. Don't ever not get something like this you want because you don't ask. We are the epitome that if you ask and work with us and tell us what you can do, we will work with you to make it work if we can make it work. We have expenses to cover that make sense, or sometimes it doesn't make sense. But in a lot of cases, we will work with you. So again, you can go to creditsuite.com/webinar just to jump in if you're like, yep, no brainer. You're going to save me like a ton more money than this is even going to be. And it makes a lot of sense because I'm going to be able to come in and get bidder credit right away, everything else. Well, then jump in, get going. But if you want to call us and talk more, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. We don't answer. We're probably not going to. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Leave a voicemail. Our team will call you back in the morning. And if you go to info@creditsuite.com, we'll get with you then too. Okay, I promised you. So let's do it. Let's do a Q&A. Let's go through. I want to make sure any questions you have are answered. Can we get a copy of the webinar? Yes, if you stayed through the webinar, which you have because it would tell me if you left, then you will get it sent to you through email tomorrow. Is having only an 800 number for your business enough, or do you need a local number also? You don't really need a local number. Even though getting a local number with 411 is preferred with 411, our toll-free number is listed with 411, so you don't need a local number if you don't want to. Is this live or recorded? Well, it's obviously live. I guess you know now because I answered the question. Sound goes off and on. I saw this during the webinar, but you were the only one that reported the issue, which is why I didn't address it. My business already has an 80 Paydex. An 80 Paydex does not mean much. It literally means you pay your bills as agreed. A lot of people think that having a good business credit score is all they need. It's not the case. It comes down to trade lines. In order for you to really progress through the business credit building process, you're going to need about 14 trades at least to get to the end. That's what you want to focus on. But that being said, congratulations on the 80 Paydex. That's part of it, is paying your bills agreed. Great job. You just want to continue to build the trades. That's the key to real success. Can I start applying for credit through this program? You can. You can apply for credit. Again, you saw the tiers of credit we walked through. So how many trade lines you have will determine the tiers. And again, we had a couple issues here, but it looks like those did get resolved. I think some of your computer was a little slow, but again, I saw this during the webinar. I just never addressed it because nobody else was having the issue. So that being said, that was why I didn't. Can we build more than one business inside the suite? You kind of can, yes. And by kind of can, I mean you can only enter one company's information in here as you go to build your business credit. But you could follow the steps for multiple businesses, as you sometimes can. And when you sell it as a product or service, so if you come here, by the way, and you come to our webinar special, there's a couple things you want to know that are off topic. The core package is just to build business credit and get financing. The VIP package, I do not know why there's these marks through stuff. It drives me crazy. But the VIP package is to offer business credit and financing. Both you can see have a discount on the overall payment and the monthly payment. There are one payment incentives as well with this. And also, so you know, if you're selling the finance suite, and this is why I bring this up because it was a great question Mary asked. If you're selling it to a customer, well, then every finance suite you sell to a customer, it won't have your partner resources and sales reps in this. It'll just have the basic stuff to get loans and credit for everyone. And we also include the business valuation for your customers and the business credit monitoring as well. For everyone you sell, it's $700 wholesale. And then on average, our partners, you decide what you want to retail it for. So our partners usually retail it for $2,500 or $3,500. Why is that important? Well, if you know anybody that wants business credit and financing, literally the 1 or 2 sales max, you basically cover your own enrollment and you make a profit, even if you know 1 or 2 people that want business credit. So the reason I say that, Mary, is because, yes, you can go through, but you can only enter one company's information in these steps as you go through. You could follow the same steps for multiple businesses. A lot of people come in and a lot of people will do it different ways. They'll sell the finance suite at a discount if somebody buys multiple units, or they'll just tell the person, look, you can only enter one set of information here. But again, if you want, you can also follow the same steps with multiple businesses. So that's the answer to your question and how you handle it with customers as well. And if you come into My Account, it summarizes all your account information. This is where you enter your logo, your branding, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you also come into your business profile, this is all of the information you've entered in the finance suite as well, just so you actually know that, because I wanted to make sure I addressed that as well. Hey, Eric, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Owner-operator, cool, man. Located in Wisconsin. My question is, I have net 30 credit terms with companies such as Stephen Land. Yep, you're naming a bunch of companies. Do they report to DMB? My answer is I don't know, but I don't think so. The companies you're referencing, Eric, I love this question because this is what a lot of people run into. A lot of people think they have business credit because they have credit like you do at Stephen Land and Dorfman Pacific and Bailey Hats, but none of these accounts that I know of you've listed report to the reporting agencies. Remember, over 97% of trade accounts don't report, so you'd have to pull your DMB report, which is $159 a month with DMB to do. Of course, it's $24 a month with us to get experience in DMB, but it's worth it to see if they're reporting. More than likely, they're probably not in your credit report because most of those vendors don't report. If not, how do I get them to report? Well, You can use DMB's credit builder, which is $1,500 a year to do that. But again, you'll only be able to add those to DMB. The only other way to get them to report is you can have them go directly to the reporting agencies to report, or have them contact us. We work very closely with the reporting agencies. Just today, I was conversing back and forth with my rep at Experian to help companies get approved for reporting. So you can have them get in touch with us, and we'll help them report as well. That's probably going to be easier than them trying to do it on their own. Ty is a partner. Hey, Maurice, what's up, man? I know I get paid a commission for my client to get funded. If I get my company funded through the system, do I still get part of the commission? You do, or we can give you the discount in some cases. Some funding programs will just discount the amount if you want to do it that way. But yeah, you get funding. If you're part of our executive program, then which is $99 a month. It's voluntary. You can choose to be part of it or not. You're getting basically half of the commission on any of the almost all the funding that we offer. And yeah, that would include you or any other customer that you have as well, Maurice. Hey, it's good to see you too. Ink to reply needs to see this partner program. I'm not exactly, partner needs to see, I'm not exactly sure what that's referencing. Oh, link to reply needs to see this partner program. If you want to, I'm not sure what you're asking, but you can definitely get with us on any of this information to get access to what you're looking for. Email us, call us. Either way, we will help you out. Link to replay. Okay, so yeah, we will send you the link to the replay. We have to get it done. This has to be done before we actually have the replay, and you will get a link to the replay probably tomorrow. Definitely, it will come tomorrow in your email. I have good personal credit and good business credit. I have 2K Amex, 2K Capital One, 6 Bank of America. Please, I'm interested in getting 50,000 business credit for a business. How can you help? Well, let us know. I mean, the first thing is a lot of people think that they have good business credit like they're describing. The question is are these accounts really reporting on your business credit reports, or are they reporting on consumer? And the real question is how many accounts are really reporting on your business credit reports? I don't know that. So if you have good personal credit, you could definitely qualify for the up to $150,000 in financing without the personal guarantee, or excuse me, with the personal guarantee. That's a great program to get a bunch of access to cash quickly, okay? And that's probably the easiest way. Yeah, if you're looking for 50 grand, we could probably do that in 3 weeks or less. With the good credit, we just put you in the unsecured program. We can also get it for you without the personal guarantee. It's all a matter of how many trade lines you have to know how fast that can happen. Give us a ring, 877-600-2487. We'll talk to you a little bit more. Email us. We need to see your actual business credit reports for the no PG business credit to answer the question of how long it'll take. But with the guarantee, if you're willing to provide the guarantee in 3 weeks or less with the credit of 680 or higher, we can get it. Do you have any recommendation for asset protection? Not my world. No, I don't. There's a lot of great sources out there for it, but I just don't know enough to be able to speak to it or give you references. 3 questions. Do you have an aged corporation, something that is 2 years older or more? Is that preferable? No, we don't deal with shelf corporations because they serve no real purpose, Thomas. The reality is that the age of your business has nothing to do with your ability to get business credit or loans. In a lot of cases, what it really comes down to is the established how many trade lines you have on the business credit report, for one. For two, if DMB finds out that you bought an aged corporation, they will just red flag the corporation and shut it down, so you can't use that credit profile. We see that happen quite a bit. We do not sell trade lines. We do not deal with aged corporations. You're basically trying to fool a reporting agency. Oftentimes they know about it and they red flag your business, and you're never able to build credit for that business again. Just so you know, that is a possibility, and that's why we don't work with it. Second question, will creditors increase your limits over time on your vendor cash and store credit? Yes, they will. And we also teach you how to get those limits raised ongoing as you continue to have the credit. But they will do it. Sometimes they won't do it naturally. Sometimes there's some steps you have to take, and we help you with that process as well. Can you obtain unsecured lines of credit based solely on business credit with no Social Security PG, no bank accounts, ETV eventually? You can build business credit and get it without the social and without the PG. You typically should have a bank account, though. In a lot of cases, when you start to get to that point, they're going to want to see that you do have a bank account. Also, looks like you have a very good product coming from a credit consultant myself, Thomas. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I've been planning to partner by the end of the year. Is it $24.97 for Ultimate? It is for the core, as I just showed you at creditsuite.com/webinar. We are giving a discount on the VIP, and Ara or Ara, I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right, so my bad if I mispronounced it. We don't list our ultimate program here. The difference between our ultimate and VIP is our ultimate is we do all the work for you. We set up not all the business credit building work. We set up all your marketing materials for you. We give you access to a sales funnel. We set up your sales funnel. We will give you the same discount on the ultimate. I just don't list that as an option here because I don't want it to be confusing. I just wanted you to have one option to build business credit, one option to be able to offer it as a service. But yes, we will offer the same discount on VIP, but you're not getting it for the same price. It's about $1,000 more than our core, as you already know. And then we will give you the same discount on our ultimate program as well, but you're going to have to call us because, as you can see, our ultimate program is not listed here, just so you know. And it's not through the end of the year. It's just this week that the special will go. You can even see that we will actually oftentimes have an expiration clock, so you'll be able to see that it's actually expiring. If I go through the process simultaneously with two LLCs, would I be accessible for funding? Yeah, business credit, well, yeah, you can. You'll definitely get double the amount of credit on the business credit side. Loans and credit lines, you have to build out both companies, but yeah, absolutely. The more entities you have, the more business credit you can build. VIP, what's the ultimate? Again, we'll apply that same $500 or the same discount to ultimate as well. You just have to get with us, so you know that. Indeed, Phil. Okay, I know you said business names prevent you from certain approvals. I already have a name established. What do you advise? Is it a real estate investing business and its name is Fortified Investments? The word investments puts you in what is called financial services. It is deemed as high risk. Again, I'm not saying for you to change the name. Look at our name, Credit Suite. But I can tell you that we deal with automated denials too, not as many now because we obviously have so many trade lines it doesn't matter. But it can prevent you, especially in the early stages, of getting some kind of credit. It doesn't matter with loans. Loans are going to know your industry anyways, but with some automated approvals, it will affect your ability. Do you change it or not? My advice is to move forward with what you have and see if you keep running into barriers. If you're running into barriers and getting denied, you may want to consider changing it if you've set up your business credibly and you think that that's the reason that you're getting denied. If you've not opened a business yet, I'm not sure what the question is yet, but if you haven't opened a business yet, our finance suite still works. As you've seen, we help you through the process even from step one. So we help you do it right from the beginning. We help you come in and set up the business entity. We help you set up your EIN. We help you get your name. You can see the finance suite, you'll fly through step one pretty quick if your business is already established. But if you're not established and you're brand new, well, congratulations. We're helping you do this right here from the beginning the right way. I've got friends that sell just step one for $2,000 to $3,000. They own a call center. They just help businesses set up initially. And business setup services are $2,000 to $3,000. That's just what you get in step one. So we'll help you through that process in step one, even as a brand new business. So absolutely, we could definitely help you do that. Based on the 3 ways you outlined to get initial credit, if you have excellent personal credit scores, is that the fastest way to establish the initial 5 trade lines? Yeah, it is. It is. You could do both. If you find vendors in step 3 you want, I recommend you do it. But I really like and I love the unsecured program. We do this too. Matter of fact, several of the credit lines in here we do as well. The one that I said you can get up to $100,000 with no credit check, we have that one. We love that credit line. The unsecured business financing where you can get up to $150,000. We go through these programs because we vet stuff before we put it into our clients. The new credit line we just got access to yesterday, we applied for that today to get approved. We don't even really use a lot of our credit lines. We do it just to make sure they work as advertised from the lender. But yeah, this is the fastest way. Get this program, get with our team. We'll help you get this. This will put 5 trade lines on your credit report pretty quick within about a month to 2 months, or probably about a month. It's not a ton faster than vendor credit. Vendor credit, if you get vendor credit right now, it'll report next month. With this, it'll report a little faster, but not much. So yeah, it's about as fast as the vendor option. Both are about as quick. The difference with this option is you're usually putting 5,000 to 15,000 or higher individual limits on the reports. Because the limits are so high from the beginning, then the rest of the credit you get after it, the store credit, etc., has pretty high limits as well. So this is the fastest way to get much higher limit accounts. Vendor credit isn't a lot slower than this. It's about equal when it comes to speed-wise, so you know. Jim, great question. I have P.O. Box and Google Voice. Oh my gosh, John, you have two negatives. You got to get rid of both. You cannot use a PO box. You will absolutely fail, and you cannot use Google Voice. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But a lot of credit issuers, for some reason, deny people because of Google Voice. We found, not sure why. Yes, you do need to get both. You need to get a real physical business address, virtual address, or use your home address, one or the other. The other problem with the home address, guys, a lot of people don't know this, is guys and gals, I should say, to be politically correct, is the home address. Dun & Bradstreet will now put a street view of your actual address on your credit report. So we have some clients really freaking out because they have street views of their home on their commercial credit reports, which is what the reporting agencies are starting to do. Another reason to consider using a virtual address. But yeah, you cannot use a PO box. You cannot use Google Voice. Those two are big no-nos, just so you know. Is it harder for an online business to get business credit? No, it's not. And nonprofits and profits are the same too. It really does not matter. But just remember, Lorenzo, if you want to be credible and really not even look like a home address, well, then get a real physical business address or just use a virtual address. It's a shortcut to make you just look as credible as businesses that have a physical office. Does having 20K in business credit with personal guarantee with Chase, will that be a problem going forward? No, it's not. You're going to want to build your credit to get it without the personal guarantee, unless you want to continue to be liable for your business. It's still, I have a Capital One Spark card. It reports on my consumer credit reports too. I don't use it because it reports on my consumer credit reports. It's my card of last resort, and we never need a last resort card, so we don't use it. So make sure it reports on your business credit reports, not your consumer, and keep it open. That's a great account to have, even with the PG, while you continue to build business credit without the personal guarantee. Is using a mail forwarding service helpful? Sure. You just never want to use a PO box or UPS address. You use a physical business address or an actual virtual address. And virtual address does mail forwarding. It's the same thing. Don't use, like, iPostal is a service that makes it look like it's a virtual address, but it's really a PO box. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. So just make sure it's a real physical business address that you're using as the address. What's the difference between Ultimate and the Executive Partner Solution? Ultimate program, if you look at our normal programs, Ultimate is where we set up all your marketing materials for you, your PowerPoints, your free guides, your reports. We customize all that stuff for you. We give you access to the same sales funnel that we use. You get our emails or you wouldn't be here. So you'll get the access to that as well. We set up your sales funnel for you. Executive is an add-on. It's $99 a month. It's an add-on subscription that you can add on to the program, and in doing so, you can get access to add sales reps, you get access to the sales rep training, you get access to come in and be able to get paid half of what we actually get paid on any funding your clients get. And by the way, we don't charge clients at all for funding. The lenders give us a referral fee, and we split that with you. Sometimes it can be thousands of dollars. I mean, I've seen, we write out multiple checks for 10 grand or more for funding commissions alone. So it's really, really cool way to go. So the Ultimate program, the Executive, just gives you a bunch of unique access here that you don't typically get. And the Ultimate, we actually set up all the marketing materials and those type of things for you. I don't see it here. Oh yeah, you can come here where under this video, which by the way, this video, well, you don't need the video. I just showed you everything you get. If you come right here, this will actually give you an investment details. You can see what our actual investments are. You can click here to see what comes with Executive. You can, so all of our pricing, if you want any questions on the investment details or when you sell a finance suite, come to creditsuite.com/webinar, come right here under this video, click here for important details on investment options. This will explain it, and it'll even say click here for Executive. This is all the stuff you get with our Executive program. So you're getting all different, you can, enroll, you get a bunch of different stuff with our Executive. So I just kind of showed you where that actually is on this creditsuite.com/webinar page. Stephanie, great question. What's the difference, excuse me, Megan, I'm sorry, I did not mean to call you Stephanie. I was answering Stephanie's question earlier. Is the price you gave for the Ultimate package? The Ultimate package is a $500 discount from what you find on our normal pricing option here. So I didn't include it in this webinar, but we will give you the $500 discount here. And also, if you're paying one pay, there's a bunch of incentives with the Ultimate as well, including you get your first $700 unit for business credit building. Well, that's going to drive me crazy. Sometimes I think my web guy just likes messing with me because I'm ADD and these things aren't even, which will drive me nuts. So you can get that discount from the webinar on Ultimate. You just have to let our team know, and we will give you that same discount. And make sure on VIP and Ultimate, then I'm looking at our regular pricing now, you can come in here and click on the one payment to see the incentives that you actually get. If you do one pay, there's a bunch of cool incentives as well. So hopefully that answers your question. With much gratitude, great webinar. Thank you very much. Mary, look, my goal is to give you guys a bunch of good value. And then, hey, if you want to work with us, I gave you a path forward as well. If you just wanted to hang out and just get the free info, well, great. I mean, you have the best of both worlds, so I appreciate that feedback. Is having only an 800 number enough, or do you need a local number? I answer that question. You don't need the local number. Does this work for nonprofit? Absolutely. All nonprofits can build business credit. We even have financing that can work for you. I have an auto business and do auto sales. That's awesome, Sean. Congratulations. I love your industry. Details on auto repair. Would it be a good idea to make a different website for each service, since auto sales is considered high risk? Well, that's actually a pretty good question. Auto repair and sales, these aren't really considered to be high risk in the lending world in a lot of cases. So I don't separate them. I keep them all together. If you start to run into denial issues, I'd consider it, but I don't think you will get denied based on it. I think you're okay. What were the rest of the starter vendors that will give initial credit to begin with? I heard Uline and Quill. I went over Uline, Quill, and I went over Wells Fargo as well. They have a secured credit card. Another one is Strategic Network Solutions. And then you saw a bunch more in our finance suite, but the reason for that is because we have a bunch of exclusive ones, but you wouldn't be able to access those anyways, because again, they offer business credit because we help them offer business credit so they can help our customers. I have a Dun & Bradstreet number company with an EIN. That's the starter phase, but of course, as you saw in this webinar, there's a lot more that will still need to be done. Does a low bank balance affect business credit? No, it doesn't, Patrick, but as you build business credit, and in the Business Credit Builder Step 1, we go over some things about your bank account you should know about, including the fact that you have a bank credit score many people don't know about. It's called a bank rating, and if you keep less than $10,000 in your business bank account on average over 90 days, then what will happen is you'll have a low bank rating, and you will not be able to get loans or credit from your bank. So your ability to get money from your bank is going to be inhibited because of that bank balance, but it will not at all affect your ability to build business credit. How do you properly report tax to ITS, and do you do it in 5 years or less when you're starting your new business? Oh, wow, Roosevelt, I'm not the guy for that. I talked to an accountant about that. Again, you know, how to properly report your taxes, it's just not for me in this webinar. That's just not my area, you know, so I could tell you how I do it, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. So my advice there is to get help with an accountant. Not trying to blow you off. It's just, I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, you're asking a question and I'm not the most equipped to answer. And Roosevelt, it's a great question. I'm just not the most equipped to answer. Should I change the name? I don't think you should change the name. Auto really isn't high risk. You know, there's a lot of industries that are, but we don't see our clients in the auto industry have a hard time getting approved. So I would continue with the name, continue with all those being under one umbrella. If you start getting denied, then consider some changes, and our advisors can talk you through that process as well. I'm missing a few things, like 411 physical address. We have 2 credit cards of personal credit, 1 paid, closed by then, 1 in default. Can we still fix the situation? Of course, you can always fix your situation. Business credit's much easier to fix than consumer credit, and you don't have a situation here. You just in the beginning stage, you need to do a little bit more building to start to get approved for credit. That's easy for us to do. Great presentation. We'll be calling tomorrow, Dean. Very much appreciative. I really appreciate that. The feedback means a lot more than words can know or words can explain. So thank you. In addition to making money on selling the credit suite, can we also make money on the funding fees or our clients? Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple ways to do it. The reason you see commissions here is commissions is where our clients track funding commissions here, and we give you a ton of resources that you can actually access that will help you too. We give you marketing flyers just for funding, for example. Where's my executive resources? Executive resources. Let me go to finance resources. You can't access them without executive. Let's see if I have executive access. We teach you a finance cheat sheet so you can see our programs. You can see all these different types of things so you can access all this. type of stuff to get a summary of all the programs we offer, rates, terms, stuff like that that you need. You get all kinds of training here on the financing. You get training on the financing through the partner training section. A finance commitment letter is where you get people to agree to buy the finance suite if you get them financing. We give you a process overview. We talk to you about how we split the commissions. We give you a bunch of marketing videos and marketing flyers. We give you an overview of the finance stages your clients are in, detailed funding guidelines. So we give you everything you need to know to talk to customers about the financing as well. These are all videos you get as part of executive on our funding programs. So yeah, we teach you everything you need to know. And then as part of our executive, we basically just split commissions with you. So, you know, sometimes you'll make $200, $300 in commission on a deal. Sometimes you'll make $2-3 grand or more. Our average payout commission for our partners is $2,000 per funded deal. That's average. So again, you get paid when we get paid. We basically get the deal done. We fund the deal. When we get paid, we get half of what we get paid. Okay, so when we get paid, we split that basically on most funding programs, split it in half with you, and you get half. So depending on the loan type and the loan amount will determine the kind of money that you can actually make on that. Gina, thank you, Ty. That was awesome. I thank you very much. Be contacting our team. My new Renata students. Oh, congratulations. So Gina, if you can, and you're still here, looks like you are, let me know what you think about Megan. I need to know. Is she a good presenter? I hear she's pretty awesome. You've probably listened to her talk. She's phenomenal. She's taught me almost everything I know about business credit building. I am her student as well. So let me know. Type in a comment. Let me know how you think, what you think of Megan and how she does when she's talking to you in front of Renatus. For those of you who don't know, Renatus is phenomenal. They're the best and biggest real estate educational company in the country. So if you want ever want anything to do with flipping real estate, it's something to look into. What's the fastest you can build business credit be done to finish the process? Well, there is no finishing the process, right? Building business credit's the same as consumer credit. It's really a never-ending process. But remember, how long it takes you to get credit depends on how fast you apply for credit, how much you're applying for. You can make it to the very end, the top tier, the 7th tier here, or the 4th tier, or in step 7, you can make it to the very end in about 4 months' time if you're doing it, working with it and going through it as fast as possible. But remember, you're getting a ton of credit along the way. During that 4 months, you've already got Amazon and Staples and Office Depot and, you know, most of that credit. That's to get to the cash credit. The auto financing takes about 4 months. Is the fastest way that you're going to be able to do that. I have good credit, but those 2 accounts I'm sure are hurting me in some way. We can definitely look at it for you. Just give us a ring. You know, let us know. If you have questions, then all you have to do is just let us know. We'll take a look and we'll get you answers there. We can get you pre-approved for unsecured financing based on your credit without even inquiry on your credit report. So we can do that. Roosevelt, when do you report to the IRS and what tax advantages can I get? Roosevelt, you're asking a lot of tax-related questions, man, and I revert back. These are just questions about, these are really tax questions that are better for an accountant than I would be able to satisfy you. Is this program going to help if my business that I'm trying to get established bigger and better, even if it's agricultural? Yeah, we work with agricultural. We deal with construction. I don't think I've ever done with excavation companies. Well, I'm sure we have, but yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter the industry you're in. Most of those are industries you're describing. Agriculture and construction, we do a lot of work for, and there's a lot of stuff you can get too. You know, Labor Ready you saw in there, ABC Industrial Supply. There's a lot of credit for those industries that you'll like. I have store credit cards, good personal auto and home loan credit. Never been late on anything, but for those 2 commercial business credit accounts, cards backed up by my personal. Yeah, it sounds like you have a guarantee. We can help you get credit, Maria, without the personal guarantee, and we can also help you get credit that reports on your consumer credit report or business instead of consumer. To apply for the unsecured funds, how long does it take the credit history to be it depends, you know, on what kind of credit history you have, but they want you to have it for probably a year to 2 years to get the unsecured financing. But if you have a mortgage and auto, sometimes you don't have to have credit cards for 1 to 2 years. So we can look at it. We can get you pre-approved usually within 2-3 hours on that unsecured program with no inquiries on your consumer credit report. We work with sources that do soft pulls. We can also do it through credit monitoring, so we can get that specific answer. But yeah, it depends on how many accounts you have. Do you have a mortgage and auto, etc.? We'd have to look at it a little bit more to know. I've got a DUNS number, but canceled them because too expensive. I would too. There's no benefit to pay them, and they didn't help me. They won't. Didn't get reports from most of my vendors that I used. We can help you with that. Some of them might have reported to another one. Credit Builder has a lot of problems. A lot of people have a hard time actually getting accounts added with Credit Builder, Josh. So that's something we hear a lot. It's like, I appreciate that. How can we do the ultimate discount? Just give us a call, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. We'll have to manually process that because I don't have a special link for that for the webinar, and I'm going to need to make sure that you get access to your specials, the bonuses. Okay, great. I've been talking to Bob. Bob's awesome. Bob Corbett and I go back a long way. Bob and I worked together in my consumer credit business many years ago, and then I invited him to come join us on the business credit side, and he loved it. So excuse me, how long? And I think I just asked that question. Is a tax office high risk? Yes. Anything in financial services is. Real estate agents, mortgage brokers, tax, et cetera, they're all considered. And me too, just in all fairness, I'm considered high risk as well. Were you referencing adding age trade lines or reports as an authorized user, stating that it is not advisable? I don't advise that. Look, there's a big difference between consumer and business credit. Everybody yells at me when I talk about this topic because they get mad. So consumer credit, look, that's your world. I won't even speak to that. In the business credit world, if you pay for trades, yeah, if DMV knows you will, they shut down your credit profile. We see it happen all the time. And once they shut down your credit profile, you have to start over with a new entity. Yeah, if you buy a shelf corp or buy trades and DMV knows that you did, that is what the result of what will happen. Hey, maybe you can get away with it, but years down the road, even if they know, they shut you down. I'd like to start doing some real estate wholesaling and rehabs, rentals later on. We get more established. Josh, it's a great plan, and business credit's great for that. We can help you get financing through a house reseller program to flip properties. You'll have to do a few flips first, and there's other financing we can maybe help you get to do that. And then we have all kinds of credit you can use to be able to do fix and flips, right? Home Depot, Lowe's, labor ready. So we can help you get business credit to get all the materials you need to do it. And that's a big industry. We do a lot of real estate investors. Real estate investors and real estate agents are two of our top industries that we service. I'm gonna take a drink of water before I get to more. Do you offer credit card stacking? Yes. We do. We don't do it ourselves. We work with finance sources that do, and we work with ones that absolutely we've tested that get the most amount of money in the fastest time. So yes, we do that, and that's part of our program. So just give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. If you use your good personal credit, do you have to give the PG? Yeah, unless you have good business credit. You know, the only way you get around a PG is to have really good established business credit. If you don't have really well established business credit, you're going to have to give it PG until you do. Do you recommend being added to someone else's credit card as a home user or a Home Depot account to improve your credit score? On the consumer side, I don't think it hurts if it's a family member. On the business side, you know, if it's somebody that's you're close to, maybe. But if you're just buying trade lines, no, that can get you in all kinds of trouble. Jim says, if I just go with the core package for now, yeah, you can always upgrade at any given time. Absolutely you can. If you want to offer business credit at another time. Look, Jim, the way I answer this is really simple. Do you know one or two or more entrepreneurs around you that would want to buy the finance suite? If you're like, oh, yeah, dude, yes, absolutely, then you might want to consider VIP, because one or two sales pays for your own enrollment at that point. But if you don't have people around you that own businesses or would be interested, well, then VIP might not work for you now. But yeah, you can upgrade at any given time whenever you want to. We can definitely do that, and a lot of people do that. What if with this discount in place, I'll definitely be partnering this week. I'm extremely excited. That's awesome. I'm really excited to work with you, and Bob will take very good care of you. What about Twilio phone? Twilio is fine. Google Voice is the only one we found that seems to be some kind of issue. What services that TrueBuild offer are different than what Credit Suite offer? I don't know. I mean, look, you know, I can't really speak to that. I can just tell you that if you go to look up TrueBuild's reputation with Ripoff Report, Better Business Bureau, those type of things, that might tell a different story. TrueBuild's just different than us, you know. We offer a high-end service, they don't. Our technology is, you know, 7, 8 figures, millions of dollars we've invested into it. They don't have technology like we have. They only deal with business credit. They don't deal with loans. They don't have a full service program. It's do it yourself. If you want a do it yourself program, well, then let us know. We can cut our advisors out and cut part of your investment out. But I'll tell you, the minute you cut advisors out of the process, you really don't get as good of results and don't get it nearly as fast. And we've heard a lot of people come from them that, try to place questions and wait weeks or months to get answers. So I don't know. But what I can tell you is we're the only full service company out there that offers business credit, which means that you actually work with our advisors hand in hand through this process. And if you look at their technology or do a demo of how they help you do it compared to us, I think that tells a large part of the story. And of course, we have, a full partner program. They don't. And again, we deal with all kinds of loans, finance officers. None of that stuff comes with that program, from what I understand. But the better thing to do is just do a demo of their system to compare. How should you expect to see results when applying for business credit score? Well, you're not applying for business credit score. Business credit scores will be established once you build business credit. And how soon you'll start to get business credit scores established the minute those accounts report, which takes about 30 days. And DMB, you'll need 3 accounts reporting to get your initial score. I use a UPS address as my company mailing address. Would it be okay to set up a virtual address for business credit? You can, but you want to change all the addresses on your bank statement, your utility statements, your online listings, everything to the virtual address. A UPS address is going to get you denied all day long. Buy, sell, lease solutions. Think that name would be, no, you can have an issue that doesn't reflect that you're in a high-risk industry, Dean. Dan, I'm starting a real estate company doing fix and flips property management. Will this work? Yep, we have. We talked about fix and flips just a minute ago. Is there loans that would work well for buying rental properties? We have something called a, no. Those, you need a mortgage for that. We have a property called a house reseller program, which is for fix and flips. But if you're buying and holding, you're going to need mortgages for that. But we can help you get financing to put the 35% down and then get a mortgage for the 65%. We don't deal with residential real estate, but you can definitely do that. Love your webinars, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lots of helpful info. Thank you. I really appreciate that. If I'm out of state business, do real estate investing, can this program work? Yeah, it can work for any business, especially in the industry. Tire construction, general contractors, no, they're not high risk at all. No, they're not. If I do monthly payments on the ultimate, are the payments monthly? You can choose. We do weekly payments and monthly payments, so whichever you want, we can do that for you. Very helpful. I appreciate that. After bankruptcy, when should you apply? Bankruptcy doesn't matter in our world. So again, you can start building business credit regardless. And again, there's a difference there between a personal and business bankruptcy. What was a real estate and trusting company that was called Renatus? Is the name of the real estate training company. Renatus, R-E-N-A-T-U-S. How long should a client wait? Now you're keeping me in suspense. After bankruptcy, when should you apply, or how long should a client wait? It doesn't matter. On personal bankruptcy, it doesn't matter because we don't look at personal credit. For business bankruptcy, I'd try right away. We need an investor for flipping houses. Can you help with that? No, I can't help with investors for flipping houses, but what I will tell you is that in a lot of local communities, there are groups, there are real estate groups that get together, and there's all kinds of investors there. We can help you get financing for fix and flips. We have financing for that. We have unsecured financing. We have credit lines that can help. We can help you get loans and financing, but actual individual investors, I wouldn't be the guy for that. If you have good credit and you use your personal credit to speed up the process, does the store cards for the business credit report your personal credit? Yeah, all you need is 5 accounts, Brian, and then you'll start to be able to get store credit without the PG. As you asked earlier, we talked about you can use the unsecured program, or you can use the vendor accounts to get those 5 accounts. Both take about the same time. Unsecured's a little faster, and then once you get those, you can start to get the store credit accounts. In the beginning of business start, I just applied for EIN number. I want to start building business credit. How can you help? Well, you already saw how we can help. I mean, what we're going to help you do is go through step 1 quickly to set up your business credibly, and we're going to walk through this process so you start getting your first vendor credit accounts right away here in step 3, and then once those report about 30 days later, you'll start to move to store credit. So you already kind of see the walkthrough of our system and how it works, and our advisors will walk through that process with you to help you. I haven't had her class yet. Can't wait for Megan, oh, you haven't really. I hear she's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, so that's good. I'm glad. I appreciate that feedback, Gina. Thanks. No, that's okay. The typos. I'm good. I can speed read, so I'm in good shape. I was first exposed to you on a webinar with Steve Snyder. Oh yeah, Steve's great people, man. With hard hats. I love Steve. I really enjoy working with him in June. And began to seriously plan on partnering at the beginning of October. Now's the time to do it. Yeah, it is. By the end of the year. First of all, it's a tax write-off when you work with us to begin with. And I got to tell you, Steve's used our program. I just got an email from him the other day freaking out about how awesome the customer service was. And he talks about in the world where it's all automation, how good the service is. But Steve's just a great, great guy. I'm glad you train under him. He's a really, really smart guy. I enjoy working with them. To build credit from the trade vendor credit level, about how much do you roughly estimate would be needed to spend on these vendors? Some of them have requirements of $50. Some of them don't. And I always recommend spending 50 for every vendor. So let's say you need 5 vendors, $50 is $250. But again, you don't have to spend 50 with all of them if you don't want to, and you don't have to get 5 if you know the ones that report to multiple reporting agencies. So I'm giving you a worst case scenario. You could definitely do it cheaper if you're working with vendors that report to multiple reporting agencies and you have access to know whether you need to spend the $50 or not. Is a trucking company high risk? Absolutely not. Russ, trucking is one of the top 3 industries we service because you can get tons of fleet credit, fuel credit, etc. It's absolutely not considered high risk. Thanks for the info. Thanks. I was going give this a try to get my business credit built up. I would love that, Josh. And what's great about it is there's no risk to you. I mean, look, you make your first payment, we give you full access. You don't like working with our advisors and our team, then you just tell us you want to cancel, and you cancel. You don't lose anything. But look, if you're serious about doing this, you can see, guys, we don't mess around. Our advisors have helped so many people build business credit. It's ridiculous. They're so knowledgeable. Our technology is phenomenal that you'll see mapping out in the process. We don't mess around with what we do. What we do works. You just have to make sure you're committed. You're committed or you're not. If you're not committed to this being a process, then don't start with us. We do not want to work with you. This is a process. You are building business credit. Yes, we help you do it in 6 months or less, but you've got to be committed to the process. Step one's boring, right? I mean, who wants to set up their business credibly? But this is why everybody gets denied for loans. So, if you don't do things the right way, you get denials. If you follow our steps, you get approvals. It's that simple. But you have to be with us and realize it's a process. If you are, we'll get along really well. You'll love it. And then if you come in and go, okay, where's my $250,000 credit line without taking any action? Well, then it's not for you. So if you're willing to take action and work with us to succeed, you'll get a lot of success early on. If not, then it's probably not right because it is a process. But again, that's what's nice about the guarantee. You got nothing to lose to check it out. As a startup limited to no funds, what's the best route to get business credit? Or just give us a call. We've got programs that we don't even list on our website where we can help you. We have to remove our advisors to maybe make it affordable for you, but it's still much easier than you trying to do it on your own. So we do have options even if you have limited funds. As a matter of fact, we have a program we call the No Funds Program that we can even help work with you, but we can't help you solve problems you won't tell us about. So if you communicate with our team, give us a ring or email us and let us know. We will work through with that for you and figure that out. Ring Central, okay for phone? Yes, we recommend them. They're awesome. Do you have to spend more than $50 with vendors? Some vendors you need to spend 50, some you don't. Do you recommend a virtual address vendor? Virtual address vendor, you can go to creditsuite.com/virtual. creditsuite.com/virtual, and that's our recommended virtual address provider. If you have a phone number through Ring Central, should I change it through your company? No, Ring Central is great. Keep it with Ring Central. We love them. I had to shut my business down. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's sad. And a few years ago, due to an injury, I never used credit at all. I have the corporation license, but I'm really starting over again. My personal credit's in the tank, and I never had business credit. Can I get yeah, absolutely. Use your existing business. Oh, firearms is definitely high risk, though, although it's awesome. What a cool business to be in. But just make sure your name doesn't reflect that you're in firearms. That'll give you all kinds of problems with getting credit, just so you know. But again, we can help you through step one, and the personal credit issues won't matter. And work with a credit repair person on the consumer side. They can help you recover. I'm not that guy, but there are consumer credit people out there that can help you as well. Love your webinar. Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We purchased a credit suite this year, and we're learning a lot. That's awesome, man. I'm so excited that you're having such good success. they can go to meetup.com, and I'm not sure. Sorry, that is not a question. It's not a question, but I'm not exactly. Oh, meetup.com. So Sean is helping somebody to answer the question of where you can get real estate investors, and he's recommending meetup.com. I'm pretty sure, Sean, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I'm pretty sure he's answering somebody else's question. If you share a virtual address with another business that you're starting, will that show as a negative? It's a problem. Business credit's built under your business name and address. So if you have two companies using the same address to build business credit, it will create all kinds of issues, just so you know that. Will the financing credit allow you to go to foreclosure auctions with 2 to 3 days to pay for property? You're not going to, I'm not exactly sure what the question is. Can you go to pay for property? Yes. We have a lot of funding programs, credit lines and loans that will help you buy property. Yes. If you're asking to do it in 2 to 3 days, we have some credit lines that can be delivered to you in 2 to 3 days. Others might take a few weeks or more. So hopefully that answers that question, Carlos. Is the firearms too risky? It's not too risky, but it is a high-risk industry, so you just want to try to keep firearms out of your name for best success. Do you report your payments to the credit people? We don't. We're working on it. We will with Credit Safe in January. The problem is we deal with business credit building, so we trying to work with Experian to get set up, Equifax and DMB. The problem is that if you're in credit building, if you deal with business credit as a business, they won't let you deal with business credit reports. That's just kind of the way the world is, right? Like if you deal with consumer credit repair, the consumer credit reporting agencies won't let you access consumer credit reports. If you deal with business credit building, business credit monitoring, even NAV, for example, can't report to the reporting agencies with credit monitoring and they're owned by Experian. Experian's part owner of the business. So the bottom line is that if you're in the business credit building, you really just can't report business credit payments, although we are working on it. In January, we'll report to Credit Safe, which is an up-and-coming reporting agency, and we're working on the others, but I don't know if it'll ever happen because of the industry that we're in. Thank you for all the info. Looking forward to the email. I appreciate that. Looking forward to you getting the email, which will happen soon enough. And Sean said yes to that question. That was Meetup for real estate investors. He was answering some questions. We don't have a website, but we have a business, email.com. Do we need a website? Yes, you do need a website. It's super simple. Our advising team can help you through the process of getting a website fairly cheaply. There's a lot of ways to get that done. Brian, if we sign up with you to sell your services, is it like a white label? Yeah, it is white label. All the marketing and training materials are white label. Your finance suite, see, I don't have a logo here, but it would have your logo, your branding. Our advising team, all of our emails and stuff come from the address suitelogin.com. The same as our login URL you can see right here, and that doesn't link back to any company, so it's a complete 100% white label program in your name when you're offering business credit. Does revenue or lack of it cause denials of credit for a startup? Not for business credit, no, but there are some loans and credit lines you could get if you have revenue, but it won't prevent you from getting business credit. Need to set up a separate company to report? Look, Sean, it's not like we haven't thought of that before, but we just don't do that, man. We don't operate in any kind of gray area. We are black and white. If we're going to get the ability to report payments, it's because they're going to know who we are, know what we do, and give us the ability on the front end to do it. So we're working on it. Literally right now, we're under review. The problem, believe it or not, I swear to you this is the case. I can't believe it. I just was talking with my Experian rep about this today. He said that the reason we're denied to report is that we are in the credit repair space and we sell trade lines. That's how far off they are from understanding our business model. So I can assure you we're trying to work with the reporting agencies to work. It's just they either don't like it because we deal with business credit, or they instantly think we're in consumer credit repair, even though obviously we don't even deal with consumers or deal with credit repair or deal with consumer credit. So we just run into these kind of issues, but I assure you that we're trying to come in the front door and do it the right way. We just wouldn't do it away with opening up a separate company. We just don't operate that way. If we have a local number, do we need a toll-free number? Yes, you should have toll-free. Yes, you should have fax. Both make sure that reflect that you're credible. That is meetup.com. Yes, that's correct. You guys are awesome, Sean. I appreciate that. That's awesome, by the way. Thanks, Brian. Roosevelt, how do you get a vehicle vendor credit financing to purchase to do transportation for your business? You could definitely do that. You need about 14 trade lines. We get you to auto vehicle financing here in step 7, but we also have equipment financing, which can work for vehicles, and vehicle financing here in the Finance My Business section as well. So that can help you as well. So that being said, that is the end of the question. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. And if you have any more questions, I'm going to ask that you reserve them for our sales team, because I went through literally here about an hour's worth of questions, and I want to make sure that I get everybody off here at a reasonable time. It's already 10:30 Eastern, so I know that's not reasonable. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you have any questions, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. info@creditsuite.com is our email. And if you give us a call now, we probably won't answer, but we will call you back first thing in the morning. If you send us an email, we will call you back in the morning. Be patient with us. We literally had hundreds and hundreds of people on here. So we will be talking to a lot of people tomorrow, a lot of people that got blocked out and couldn't get in, et cetera, et cetera. So please, make sure that you're a little patient with us in the morning, but our team should be reaching out probably first thing. If you leave a voicemail, if you send an email, we'll be reaching out first thing. If you try to just call tomorrow or email, you might run into voicemail because they're calling the people back. So if you want to get the fastest response from our team, give us a call and leave it a voicemail now, or send an email now. Then our team will get in first thing in the morning and respond to emails and phone calls, and other people that are trying to call or email in tomorrow will take less priority than the people that already have. That's just the way that our front end guys work the people that come in, or work with the people that come in. So make sure, if you want to speak with somebody in the morning, give us a call, send us an email. Remember, the special is valid through this week. Friday at midnight, it will expire. You're probably going to go to the webinar page and see a countdown clock. We don't mess around. When that expires, then we basically take down the URL, and an offer expired sign comes on the door, and then people call and have all kinds of excuses and want us to extend it, and we don't. If you probably worked with us before, you know that. You also know that we just don't offer many specials and discounts, guys. We don't need to. What we have is a phenomenal service, and the reality is, I don't care how you look at it, it's cheaper to work with us than do this on your own. It's very simple, because you're going to pay for a lot of things that are included with our service for free or as a discount. Will save you a ton of money, and without a doubt, you're going to get much faster results working with us than trying to do this on your own. Otherwise, you're going to run into all kinds of issues, not have somebody to help you, and you're going to spend months of time wasted waiting for people to report that don't report, waiting to get answers to questions that you don't know. With us, we're giving you the fastest path to build business credit, and we're going to help you with capital. So if you can qualify for loans now because you have some kind of revenue, cash flow, or collateral, or cash flow, good credit, or collateral, we help you get financing now. If you don't, we still work with you to develop a blueprint to get financing. So it's an all-in-one place. My vision is to make sure that capital is accessible for the small business owner, because it wasn't accessible for me. You know what? And I was brought up to not complain about problems you're not willing to propose solutions to. So Credit Suite was our solution to the problem. It's designed to help you get money through technology and through advisors and finance team, and working with every legitimate lender that's out there today, helping you build business credit. We have a full-time researching team. All they do is research new lenders and add them. That's why we're constantly adding new programs. Just this month alone, to give you an idea, December alone, we are adding 12 new sources into the Finance Suite. We just added 4 new vendors into step 3 literally this week. So we're constantly adding new loans, new credit line sources. We're adding new business credit sources. So you always have access to the most amount of sources, all the most up-to-date information, and you have a whole team of people that are freaking awesome that will help you through this process. When I have questions I don't know, I go to my team and they help me. So you get it all, and we will work with you closely to get you the best results with business credit, I promise, and financing. And I don't even want you to take my word for it. Go to creditsuite.com and just look at credibility. We give you a link to our BBB. We give you a link to Trustpilot. These are real reviews. You can see when people left them. You can see what they say. We can't, if people leave us bad reviews, we can't even get rid of them on Trustpilot. So what you see is what you get. There's a reason we have an A+ BBB rating with no complaints from a client ever online, because 2 things. 1, we do exactly what we say we're going to do. You've seen exactly what you're going to buy before you buy it. You could test it out. And 2, we give you a guarantee. You don't want it, you try it out and don't like it, tell us, we refund your money. No harm, no foul, no problem. This is a process. You need to be in it and committed with us. So if you're not committed, we're not going to try to keep you in there to keep your money. It's just not, the money's not that important to us. What's important is to help people get real results. You're either somebody that wants to work with us to get those results or not. If you are, then we will work with you through this process. So give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com, and we will help you through the process, get started. If the payments that you see at creditsuite.com/webinar are unaffordable, don't just give up. Give us a ring. Tell us what's on your mind. Let us work with you. You'd be surprised. We got programs we don't even list on our website where we can have the advisors out of it for people that really don't have a lot of money. Or if you're on a budget or need to work out something special, we can. If you're doing one payment, things like that, well, then we even give you a ton of extra one payment incentives. And remember, if you're coming in on our VIP program, guys, in 1 to 2 sales, you pay for your own enrollment and make a profit. So if you know of even a few entrepreneurs that could be interested, we can get you on board, trained within a day to sell. We even help you close, and 1 to 2 sales, boom, you make your money back and you're good to go. You're profitable, and yours was basically free at that point. Plus, we help you get financing for all your friends and people you know too. You can bring them in without even paying as part of our executive program. They don't have to buy anything. So it's everything you need to build your business credit, to get loans, to get credit lines with our advisors, with our finance team. And then you also get the ability, it's the only platform that even exists in the world to resell business credit and financing as well. And let our team even walk you through it if you'd like. We've got videos on our website that'll give you more details of all the marketing materials, the years worth of social media content, years worth of email drip campaign, the flyers, the PowerPoints, literally you're getting a franchise for the equivalent of $25,000, $30,000 that you'd pay for any other franchise for literally less than $4,000 if you want to offer business credit financing. So you'll never find anything else like that or as all-inclusive as we have. So that being said, give us a ring, send us an email. Good night. Thank you. I thank you everybody for thanking me, and thank you very much for your thanks. And Jim says, do you have strategies to pull cash out of the PG cards? Yes, we do. We work with the finance sources that will help you take almost 100% of the cash out. If you get approved with $100,000 on those personal guarantee accounts, we can help you what we call liquidate the accounts and take the physical cash out, so you know. Any other questions, guys? Go ahead, let us know. It is sweet. It's awesome on those cash credit cards. There's a lot of stuff we can do. I'm not going to answer any other questions, but if you do have any other questions, make sure you give us a ring, send us an email, info@creditsuite.com, 877-600-2487. You will get the playback of this webinar tomorrow, just so everybody knows. So that will be available tomorrow. I will send it to you all because you stayed here. I appreciate all the thanks, the great webinar, the feedback. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the engagement. This has been an awesome experience spending with you. And I will sometime do this again in 6 to 7 months. Literally, I only do one of these about every 6 months. So it'll be about another 6 or 7 months before you'll see this. Obviously, I do regular other kind of webinars during the days all the time that you probably already know. So thank you all. Have an excellent night. I really appreciate all of you and all that you do with your solutions for people out there. I love businesses. I just absolutely love businesses. So thank you all very much. Vernon says on Periscope tomorrow, you know it, Periscope at 4 o'clock Eastern and Facebook Live at Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern. So I'll see you all then. Make sure you give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. Thanks, everybody, very, very, very much. I hope you all have a great night, and I look forward to all of you working with you closely to help you build business credit and get financing. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.